dig's out for my favorite fucking monkey. My dig's out for my baby Boo Harambe. The famous, the greatest, the bravest Harambe. You killed the greatest, you're racist, fuck you. So, rest now, sweet little bro guy. 6 feet under the floor. Remember me when you go, to monkey heaven now. Float way high up in the stars and I'll know you're always looking down. Throw.
Hello, everybody. I'm here. Ray's taking a dump, but we're live. It's Wednesday, my dudes. I think, right? It's Wednesday? I didn't really, what's going on? Dick's out for Harambe. 9 years. I got notifications today. I was like, fuck, was that today? That's crazy, though. It is Wednesday. That's fantastic. I'm not the best with remembering what the hell day it is. But yeah. Bunch of fucking races at the Cincinnati Zoo, you know. No, it doesn't. It was 2016. Next year, it'll be a whole decade since Harambe. And that meme won't die. Not completely. But we're here. I don't know about this music right quick. Hold on. I think we can do probably better. No, that's fucking... Here we go. Anyway, how's it going? I'm chill. I'm pretty tired. I had a very long day. I'm getting back into fucking art design. I want to be doing clothing design, hand-done stuff. Okay, cool. Great. They're going to force me to Windows 11. That's fantastic. What happened? Who was it? I'll kick their ass. Really? That sucks. That's terrible. I gotta take a look here. I got messages. What the fuck is happening? Oh yeah, coronavirus. 5 years ago, I got a notification from fucking Governor Andrew Cuomo. Coronavirus is still spreading. That was 5 years. And time is really flying like a motherfucker these days. It's crazy how fast everything is going. My son is actually graduating from his first year of preschool. He'll have a couple of years of that. He'll go this year and then next year. He'll have a more in-depth education next year. We're sending him to private school because we don't trust the public school system. It's not happening. Yo, what it do, Mac? We're big chilling. Just waiting for Ray. Just kind of filibustering. I don't really want to start without him. Oh, no, it's cool. I'm here. I'm here for it. Yeah, I mean, people do suck. It's terrible. I guess before we get started, fucking, did you guys see that Smokey wanted, or I'm sorry, that Handicap wanted to fight Smokey for $26,000? I don't know if that's USD or in fucking doubloons or whatever they use in Pirate Land over there. But apparently that was going to be a thing. But he didn't want to do it in escrow, which is weird. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm literally just stalling for time. I made some offers, but nobody wants to fight me. That sucks. Yeah, I made a terrarium from local flora. There's some earthworms in there too, and a slug. But nothing serious in that yet. Just some very large mushrooms of various kinds. I got some wood ear. I got some chicken of the sea. No, I'm kidding. Chicken of the forest.
Hello.
Hey, it's midnight. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. I figured I'd join in. While Ray is
Taking a shit? Yeah. That's
yeah.
all right. Oh God,
So
I had a
crazy
very
day.
long day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
it was
ahead.
a crazy day. It's a crazy fucking day. I had the day from hell, to be honest with you. This is just gonna cap it off. But everything else is pretty good in my life. I'm actually probably while we're talking gonna work on my fucking t-shirt design. I have to go get the materials to do it. I gotta get fabric dye and some puffy
Nice.
gel. It sounds awful when you say it, but when you guys see it, hopefully it'll look good. Um, I might even have the sketch done by the time we finish the show tonight, but I don't know. It depends on how distracted I am, actually. Oh, Beyblades? Oh, hell yeah. Me and my son have Beyblades. I
Oh,
bought
that
him.
takes me back.
What's that?
That takes me
Oh, yeah,
back.
it takes you
Remember
back? Yeah.
yeah, baby. There was Beyblades to cut to. Like I never actually bought one for myself, but I did see the show on
Yeah.
TV once in a while.
For Christmas, I got him Beyblades. And then I got my old Beyblades out. And he learned the let it rip thing. And it's funny you mention it because I've got this fidget spinner. It's metal. And what we did was we took baking trays. They were ones we were going to throw out anyway because they were just slightly bent, right? And I would take like a nickel because it's bent in the middle. I would take a nickel and I'd set this on it, and it would sit just about perfectly. And this would spin counterclockwise while the other ones would spin clockwise, so that like they kind of went faster because he has a patience issue. So
I want to know what madman actually created fidget spinners and why autistic people are the only ones who seem to be into them. Like,
I don't know. Oh, fidget devices are a thing. Well, that's for sure. Oh
you know,
shit.
well, I think you need to go into a safer career option. So have you tried coding?
Yeah, that's what I initially went to college for. And I do code for fun now. Um,
Really, what's your language of choice?
I just C plus plus. Nothing.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's nothing high tech. I mean, I can code in Python and Java and shit like that, but um,
Oh
it's
no, I'm a
just
C++ purist. I use other languages because I have to, but other than that, C++ is I just love it.
oh yeah.
Yep. Currently learning web design. Well, front end anyway.
Hold on. My wife says she smells something burning. I do have candles, but like nothing's on fire. I may have to go deal with that. I may have to go check it out and then leave you here because that's a fire. A fire is kind of a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't smell burning plastic. Hey, you know what it could be? It could be my redneck Yahoo fucking yee neighbors. Can you give me like 2 seconds? I'll be right back. You
Yeah,
filibuster for a
sure.
minute?
Go ahead. Yeah, I'll try to filibuster. You know me.
Yeah, I just need like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Actually, let me put up a banner quick. Where the fuck are all my banners? Oh, okay, here we go. I'll get rid of the bald one. I'll put this one up. On fire, BRB. There you go. Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay, well, I guess I'm here for like 2 minutes. Uh, uh, why would you? Oh my God, Andy, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, but why would you show all that fucking money live on it. Like I've mentioned this before, I don't know, bears repeating. But dude, I have no beef with you. I have nothing. There's nothing. You know what I mean? You and I barely. Actually, I don't think we've ever talked. But for you to just. Oh. And you know what? You know what? I'm still kind of pissed off at this fucker over here for the whole knock fight that never happened. I was so looking forward to that, but no, that didn't happen. I mean, might as well, right? Well, at least I'm glad he's happy. He's offline. He's doing whatever. Let's see what anyone says. If anyone's saying anything. Do, 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 do. The Chris ACC blueberry enjoyer. Well, who doesn't like blueberries? Everyone does. Let's see, Guru Lady. It's nice to see you as always. Wonder how Quinn is doing. So, so season 8 of Rick and Morty started on Sunday. It was a very good Matrix parody. It was like the summer of all fears. You know, the summer of all fears. Even though I never actually saw that movie, so, but it was a good episode, a good start to the series, at least in my season, at least in my opinion. Imagine spending 17 years in the Matrix. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's a beautiful morning. Yep. That's a nice music. Morning, noon, and night.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Thank God I was fucking dying out here.
Sorry. What the heck is black fatigue? We're going to talk about it. I just don't know where Ray is right now. I might have to do the show with fucking midnight. Now, that'd be a fucking nightmare, right?
Hey, you know what? I admit I'm not charismatic enough.
There you go. It was a fucking candle. I got slightly knocked over. That's what it was.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was a
guessing you
fucking
checked
cat. It's a fucking cat. She's a piece of shit. Don't get cats. Oh, okay. I guess. Hold on. I want to check my notifications. If he's not here in like 15 minutes, I'll give him a call. But we'll just get rolling because we have shit to do tonight. We're gonna start with Gen Z and work our way down. I think that's probably the best way to cover all this.
Now you have to tell the Chipotle worker. You have to look at
Audio good?
Yes.
them in the eyes. You have to say, "Are you paying with cash or card?" And you're going to say, do you guys take loans from Klarna? I financed this burrito. I will be paying you in a loan, and you'll get a check in the mail for the part I'm mortgaging. This is the world we live in. We live in a world where you can't afford a burrito, so you're taking out a loan to buy a burrito. Gen Z, the worst time to be alive. I wouldn't say it's the worst time to be alive. Wasn't there a time where we were at like a world war?
It's kind of
well, we were in a world war, but the thing is, when there were wars on, aside from obviously the most recent one, the Iraq War, which turned into several other wars, at least there was some valor in that. It's like we're at war with the world, or like, hey, the Nazis, right? Hey, Hiroshima. Like there was some valor in that. There's not really a whole lot of valor. Like when was the last time anyone really went to war? Like Vietnam, and we didn't even win that one? Like we said we won that one, but did we? Did we really?
It depends on what your definition of winning is.
Yeah, it's not really winning. So, yeah, I think that's why. Because now you join the army. What are you going to? What are you going to war with? Fucking Ukraine or something? Like, what are we doing? I mean, now you're just signing up for the army so you can just stand there menacingly. So.
I think there is this drama around being Gen Z, and because attention spans are lower and there's brain rot and all of these things that make us sort of cringe. I mean, we might be the cringiest generation alive. I don't know if we're the worst, right? I wouldn't say we're the worst, but I'm sure there's a case to be made that there are actual problems that Gen Z is facing that previous generations have never faced. If you look at the cost of a house, it's unaffordable to most people. If you look at inflation, it's terrible. If you look at a lot of things, it will point to Gen Z being kind of tough to live in. I mean, let's take a look.
The other day, I woke up to two things. One, my Kurt Cobain poster falling off the wall again. Two, the realization that I might have lost the timeline dice roll, as somehow I've managed to be born during one of the worst times in all of human history. I was born in 2003, and as a result, I am now unwillingly a part of Generation Z. Or Gen Z, if you will. Growing up was fire. Everything ranging from the internet still coming up, playing Jetpack Joyride on your damn iPod Touch.
Dude, Jetpack Joyride, Where's My Water, Cut the Rope, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Temple Run, Subway Surfers, all the best games. No,
I think he's got some of those dates wrong, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say all the best games came out in this fucking generation, I'll tell you that much. Why is Sparkle here? Because Ray is taking a very extended shit. What's going on here? Hey, what's going on? I'm just checking chat now. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of valor invading Iraq. Yeah, the Viet Cong fucked us real good. Like, I mean, we were not equipped for fucking... Look, it's one thing to be killing Charlie, jumping out of fucking trees and shit, fucking... big fucking schizo Forrest Gump hours style, but how are you gonna hand-to-hand combat malaria? I mean, come on. But yeah, the video games in my generation were undoubtedly the best. We got Pokemon. There you go. I just to annoy Smokey.
other generation had this.
Or even a game-changing iPhone 6 dropping. Back then, you had the Hall of Fame browser games like Club Penguin or even Pop Tropica. You even had TV shows like Arthur. The only real worry you would have in these times was not being able to locate your group of friends' bicycles outside someone's crib or getting your ball stuck underneath someone's car. Then sometimes...
I feel like that's a relatable thing for every generation, though.
Right?
Bro, who hasn't gotten their ball stuck under somebody's fucking SUV, didn't even belong to you, and didn't know your fucking neighbor anyway?
Time flew by. And you're starting to enter your adult years, where for some reason society around you only now decides to fall into complete and utter chaos when it's your turn to actually become an adult.
That's
You
true.
could have been a fucking milkman.
Imagine all the people that are in like CS right now. They're CS majors just for all of their work to be replaced with AI. That's the worst thing. Imagine you're a junior right now in college and you're realizing how fucked you are in real time.
No, that's not the worst thing. You know what the worst thing is? Cancer. Anyway, moving on.
You have to switch majors. You have to be like a chef. You have to go to culinary school. You have to.
And in 1950, and still be able to
You have to go to Streamer University. There's no other option.
purchase a house. However, the year is now 2025, in which niggas are graduating from high school, furthering their education, landing a job, and still can't afford literally anything. In 1970, the average American yearly wage was $9,870, which is equivalent to $80,800 today. And the average American home around this time frame costs roughly about 23 grand, which is equivalent to 180,000 today.
Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, I'm not gonna like dox myself with housing prices in my area, but let me tell you something. That's not a really big. 180,000 is not a big chunk of my house. Let's just leave it at that. But like, that's fucking insane how much things have changed.
As it stands right now in 2020.
I mean, I wanted to call you Mindy this whole time, but I didn't want to I felt like that would be doxing, and we've had it like this silent agreement for like 4 years that we weren't going to do that. So,
5, the average American salary.
but I will call you Mindy now. That's so much easier. Oh my God. Having it, because you changed your fucking name here to Lady Avon, right? And everybody in our community knows you're Sassy Heathen Atheist. So now if I could just say Mindy, that's 2 fucking syllables. Imagine all the time I'll save. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I do it. There you go. Look at all that. Yeah, see, look, he thinks he's a little fucking Fortnite gamer over here with his fucking emoji too. I never really got down with that. I really,
funny,
I'll be
yeah.
honest, I actually enjoy Zoomer culture quite a bit, and I think that's because I am also autistic. So,
Salary is slightly above 60 grand.
So it is not the same as it was in the 70s. It's less relative for inflation. So it's $20,000 less. Oh, interesting.
The average American home is a little bit under 400.
Oh my God. So wages are down, houses are up. We're all fucked.
yeah, that's about right on a 30-year mortgage. And that was when I was 31, when I got my first fucking house like that I own technically, but technically the bank owns it. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of money.
It's disgusting, and whoever did this needs to pay in blood. I know that BlackRock owns homes. I believe that there's just vacant homes somewhere in America that are owned by BlackRock that are unoccupied. And for those homes, for the people who own those homes, they need to be burned. I think arson exists, and I think that's
the thing though, is that around here it's not BlackRock. I don't know if he might be connected to BlackRock, but or Vanguard or State Street or something. I don't know that for sure. Because I know that they do that where they get private citizens. They basically give private citizens money to go buy up homes because there's like laws in certain states and restrictions that prevent corporations from buying up public housing. So they do it through proxies. But Skimmerhorn, he basically takes fucking forest land and then he cuts all the fucking forest down and then he builds these shitty condominium style houses that are all stacked one on top of another. And it's this ticky-tack fucking horse shit. Oh, yeah. No, even out here in the country in hick-ass upstate New York. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And no, I know my neighbors a little bit, but everybody moved out here to not be bothered by their neighbors. So I don't really, most of us don't want to be bothered by one another. I have experienced random strangers coming up to my house and asking me inane questions like, where am I? Who are you? What's going on? Why is there a demon owl in your yard? Where's Sparrow? That's another question. Nobody asks. Anyway.
it's an option. I think that people who are causing this and who are enslaving Americans to this sort of never-ending chase, this chase for a home, this chase for a future, kind of holding something over their head, putting us in their hamster wheel, hey, you're almost there, jiggling the keys to the home that we'll never be able to afford. And these people are fucked. They're fucked in the head, and they will never be held accountable because they're nameless, they're faceless, they're hard to track. You don't know them, you won't see them, you won't hear from them. You'll just know that they exist because of how fucked you are in your day-to-day life by the decisions that they're making at their board meetings. And at their board meetings, there's somebody who wants to speak up against this, but he won't because he knows that by doing so, he'll be thrown out to the street and fed to the wolves. This is a real thing, and it's disgusting. It's sad. Look, dude, $400,000 for a fucking average house. You know how unattainable that is for most people? Let's just say you're making the average income, okay? Let's say you're making the average salary that people are. Let's take a peek here.
It's
Hold on.
slightly above 60.
You're making about $62,000 a year. It'll take you about, so not 10 years, maybe like 8 years, we'll call it. What's 6 times 8? 48. And what is this, 400K? So maybe 7 years. 6 times 7 is 42. So we'll
Yeah, that's not including your water and utilities and your fucking internet and your grocery bill, your car. If you even if you own your car outright, you still have to insure it. You got to register it every fucking year. You got to get or not every year. I think it's every couple of years. I don't fucking know. I just do it when the DMV tells me to. You got to get it inspected every fucking year. Eventually, you have to replace tires, brakes, If you really let it go, rotors and calipers too. Your fucking transmission just falls out for no goddamn reason. Not looking at anyone in particular, but you know who you are. Yeah, that's not including all that other shit. And if you have kids, you're super fucked. I know it. You know it. Everybody knows it. It just is the way it is. And there it is, dudes.
Call
It's
it about
crazy.
7 years, maybe 6.5 years to get a fucking house. Okay. But that's not accounting for inflation. That's not accounting for taxes. That's not accounting for where you want to live. You know, there's going to be places that you just can't live in because it's too expensive, places that you can't live in because it's too crime ridden. So you're forced into some weird middle ground that you don't want to be in. And then if you want to get the house on top of that, you want to have kids in this house, and then you can't afford to have the kids in there. So you're at the end of the day left with two options. One is go to the gun store and don't ask them to do a mental health background check because damn well you know you're
Jesus.
veiled. Or
No, I've thought about. Okay, so Ray is here finally. Okay, so midnight. It was good having you, but me and Ray are gonna do our thing because that's what I had scheduled for tonight, and then we'll let you back in when we're done with our shit in about an hour and a half. All right.
Yep.
All right. Hey, buddy.
Yo, what's up?
Nothing. That was a long ass dump.
Listen, man, when nature calls, you gotta let it run its course.
My cat knocked over a candle and almost burned my house down, so I feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
had
like
to go
that
do
cat, man. She's a good pussy.
Yeah, she's a decent. What the fuck is the matter with somebody? Anyway, we're learning why Zoomers are cooked. Basically, just having a short discussion about how.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's the cause of any problem?
Karens and the government.
No. Like, if you think deeper than that, like if you don't put a topic on it, what's the cause of all problems?
Free will.
Well, I would say thinking. And then number 2, you could say leadership.
Oh, there you go. That's a little more pointed. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, it's factual.
Well, yeah, sure, it's factual. I just didn't know how general you wanted. Money, that's another good one. See, look, we're thinking. We're already starting to have problems.
Thinking is the cause of all problems. I didn't say all thinking is a problem.
Right.
Or 2 is to...
You kind of dropped in the middle. We're currently at the cost of housing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, do some stupid shit like take all your money and put it onto black in a casino and hope it works because all you have now is the fucking gamble. Because, I mean, like, look at this. You're playing a losing game. So you're going to play the losing game that the government and the world has set up for you, which is the, like, never-ending chase for money, which is what we're all kind of doing, or the losing game of fucking roulette where you have a 50% chance of winning and 50% chance of losing. But that 50% chance that you win, you might get a bit of a leg up against everyone else who's playing this fucking rat race.
Grand. The average American home is a little bit under 400 grand. Listen, I'm no mathematician or economist, but it ain't hard to tell that there's a clear discrepancy between these two time periods. Back in the day, niggas could have worked for one, emphasis on 1 year, and already have made nearly 50% save for a house. However, in today's economy, fuck no. By the time you've put in a year's worth of work, you're not.
And the other thing is, depending on what time period you're talking about, even if you go all the way back to medieval times and serfdom and feudalism and all that, you could have built your fucking house. You could, and not only that, but like
serfs weren't even treated poorly either. Serfs were treated pretty well, actually.
Yeah, decent compared to today. Basically, like your workday was 5 hours a day. There were like 3 meals or 2 meals actually. I think there was a breakfast and then there was like a lunch that was provided, which is weird by today's comparison. Basically, when I think the Serbians invented the clock, that was game over. Once we started gamifying the day by I'm not saying that keeping time isn't like something you should do at all. All I'm saying is that we've gamified the day such that we have like a time clock now. And it's like, oh, you get paid hourly. you have basically like one of two options. You can be salaried and then be asked to work outside of your scheduled hours, doing extra work essentially for free, or you do hourly and you get like people who basically just do the bare minimum because you're going to get paid whether you do a good job or not. Like there's no incentivized pay. There is kind of a third version, but it doesn't work for everything. And usually the bosses just keep increasing the standards. It's called piecework. Basically, however many things you produce per hour, which is basically just another form of an hourly wage. But it's especially if the standards are already high going in and you're just learning, right? Even if you've got 6 months in, you're not going to be as fast as somebody who's been doing the same fucking thing, like making, I don't know, lawn furniture, for example, for like the past decade, who's an expert at it. You're never going to be able to keep up with that. So it's not really a good solution. I've heard universal basic income as a solution, but then who pays for that, right? Somebody has to work to pay for that. And then you factor in AI and automation. And it's just at some point through deductive reasoning, you just end up with robots making shit for other robots. And that's a nonsensical economy.
Yeah, we're going to Wall-E, bro.
We're going to Wall-E? We're going to Wall-E
Yeah.
World?
No, I mean like the movie. The Disney
Oh,
movie
the
Wall-E.
movie. Yeah. I got you now. Why don't
I mean,
Yeah,
that's what the
probably.
school system is set up for, is to make you a mindless drone. That's kind of the point. That's what a factory worker is supposed to be.
Yeah, it's set up. I mean, it's no coincidence that they're shaped like prisons, and that there's bells and scheduled times and supervision, and even some schools have metal detectors and random drug searches with dogs and cops and everything. Yeah, it's a prison. It's a prison, and that's why everyone sits at a little fucking desk, because it's training people for cubicle work, basically, and then it's conditioning your mind to basically be a minimum wage employee.
That's an interesting word you use, conditioning. How much do you know about that word?
A fair amount, I'd like to think. Yeah.
So, like in terms of psychology, you understand it pretty well.
Yeah, like Pavlovian conditioning and shit like that, psychological conditioning. Yeah.
There's a quote I heard, which is, if you give your children to Caesar, they'll come back as Romans.
Yeah, that's basically what's happening.
Look at who owns all the media. And let me tell you something. If somebody is staring at a screen and it's being filled with information that you are dictating, wouldn't that program or condition somebody if they watched it every single day over and over and over? Wouldn't that, whatever you put in front of their face, wouldn't that program and condition them if they saw that every single day?
It's one of the topics. It's one of the topics that we're going to cover tonight.
Oh, wonderful.
Actually.
That's great.
Not even getting a quarter of the way there, 16% to be exact. It would take you 6.5 years to actually purchase and own that damn house. Then you have Canada. And despite me actually being from here, I'm not even going to bother talking about it because niggas are going to get pissed off. I might have to end the...
Yeah, Canada's a shit show. We have an expat Canadian here in chat, so she could tell you.
They don't even have a military, right? What good are they then?
Not really. I mean, they kind of do, but it's kind of like in name only type situation.
It's kind of like they're riding on our dick, right? That's what it is.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, technically, they send people to go fight in wars that we started, but yeah.
A damn video if I start talking about its economy. Put it simply, where I'm from, the average salary is roughly 54 grand. Canadian, by the way. And the average cost for a house is 848 grand.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Can you pause? Can I say something based on one of the comments? I just want to I'm going to make a sound, and I'm almost 100% positive that absolutely all of you know what it is, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. All right? Ba 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 ba. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So Shepard's comment, I agree with that to some degree, but it depends on the mind and the will of the person watching. Well, I hate to tell you that your subconscious mind is not something that you have such a simple control over. And that's kind of the scary part about it, is that like everything you see, even like those million ads you see on YouTube, those 5 seconds, like they're actually impacting what you're thinking about.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, on the one hand, the corporations and the cabal and the people who are really in control of this country, they don't like that we don't watch cable anymore. But in another way, they figured out something else vital, is that now they can use targeted advertising. So now you see the ads they want you to see on top of that. Grissy. Hello.
So it's a lot of repetition for the same thing too. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, it's more conditioning. Yeah, you just get used to seeing certain things, and then eventually you think, oh, it's about what am I trying to say here? It's about not brand recognition necessarily. It's just like you see something.
By the way,
enough-
Shepard is on point with that comment right there. But it's those times when you don't make that decision, or you don't know the real problem, I think, is when you don't know you have the decision. And I'd wager that most people don't, considering most people that graduate probably don't know how to balance a checkbook, or probably can't do a push-up, for example, or tell you about the digestive system or the endocrine system. There's a lot of things that people don't know, and it's almost like a manipulator trick.
Yeah. Well, it's like you go to the supermarket and there's like 20 different flavors of poison for every different kind of poison that exists.
I think that's the devil's greatest trick, honestly, is trying to trick us to waste time and then just get the repetition in our brain over and over with it.
Yeah.
Working for a year on the average salary would get me
Canada is so fucked.
singular percentage
Oh my god, 6%.
towards my house. In other words, it'll take me 15.7 years to pay my house off.
Oh.
What the fuck? Back in the day, you could have literally been an immigrant coming from a third world country, get a basic ass job, and buy a house. However,
Yeah, and there's no chance that's happening now.
in today's economy, as someone who was born and raised here, went to school, got a job, I might have a better chance getting hit by a car than actually buying a house. Remember when people used to actually purchase an
This is where I start to agree with the liberals about this is about killing landlords. Because I don't know what the solution to the housing problem is. I mean, the land is all owned by somebody the fuck else. It's either owned by the bank or the government, and the government's not handing out land.
Listen, bro, let's just go to Mars.
Yeah, right.
A lot of fresh real estate.
Yeah. Well, when the magnetic poles reverse, basically, you're going to have to be on Mars. I think that I'm going to enjoy living in a subtropical climate. The equator and the prime meridian are going to flip. I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, think about the cat girls that we're going to have in the future too, man.
Oh my God, cat girls?
Think about it, bro. You're going to be able to have an AI Pikachu to be your companion.
Oh, yeah. This fucking meme again. Great.
I just said regular Pikachu, bro. You're the one who,
I'm the one?
Yeah, you're the one, bro.
Sure?
The most
I'm
high.
The one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The most high Hebrew?
Oh, hell yeah. Not tonight. I haven't loaded my pipe yet. Speaking of high, so I mentioned this earlier to some people in a chat that I was in on Dave's stream. So on the far right, there was a word there that you can't say these three words in this order. And the first word starts with an S, and it's a 4-letter word, and it ends in T. And you can't say those. You could say one of those words, but you can't have more than 2 of those words. And yeah, I figured out that if you go into anybody's stream with those 3 words on that blue sign in that order, the AI that runs YouTube, which by the way, it's all automated, because on Smokey's stream the other night, somebody just kept saying the N-word, right? And they're not taking down porn bombs or anything like that anymore. It's all AI automated. They're looking for very specific things, and there's basically no content moderation on YouTube anymore. The lunatics are officially running the asylum. So, but the AI will kick you off if you show those 3 words in that order. because of something that happened in the White House recently that they're trying to pretend like it did, like they don't support that. So,
Hey, why do you think it is, by the way, that the loonies are in the bin? The clowns are in the car. I got an idea myself, but I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Why do I think the loonies are in the bin?
Yeah, like why are they up as like head honcho? You know, they act like the Grand Poobah. They put on all the face paint, throw all the pies in their face. Everybody's laughing at them. You know, it's all a good time. All attention's on them. Spotlight on them.
I don't know why the clowns are in charge. Maybe it's generational wealth. Could be. I don't know. That's just one idea, I guess.
I think
Hoarding.
people of good nature generally stick to themselves, mind their own business, and are just trying to enjoy life and have a good time. And I think the bad actors are the one who instigate and go out of their way to cause problems. They think up a lot of different kooky ideas about how they can get rich quick, or, you know, oh, we take this pill, we do this injection, we play with this DNA sequence with CRISPR. You know, oh, we start making the AI. Look at all the profit we're making with the AI. Oh, wow, now the AI is smarter than us. Oh, but now it has a robot body it's in. Oh, and it can replicate itself. Oh, and it's smarter than us and better at us and at everything. Oh, no. We should just not worry about that stuff. Hey, you know what? Let's all ignore what I just said, actually. And you know what? Let's just talk about our favorite McDonald's meal item. I love the French fries.
Let's watch YouTube shorts of Brooke and Jubal in the mornings above fucking Subway Surfer clips.
Yeah, I was going to say Subway Surfer. Yeah, that's what I'm all about, man. And maybe somebody on the bottom could be mixing sand or something.
Yeah. Or on the top, it can be like Family Guy clips above Subway Surfer, or like Vor.
Yeah, and honestly, all you'd really have to do is just get people to have the attention span of a bird, so that as soon as they get distracted from one train of thought, like right now, they probably have already forgotten the real important conversations that are being happening, you know? Especially if you interrupt them constantly with ads so they can't have one train of thought.
You know what the funny thing about that is? I've discovered that there's sort of a hack that's happening in human biology that's getting around that sort of mentality. Like, it's taking a hot minute for humans to catch up, but they are catching up. This new generation of little people, they can concentrate, but only if they're trying to concentrate on a bunch of things at once, and then they do it well. Like, for example,
Scatterbrain.
I noticed, and it has nothing to do with screens, because I did a control experiment today, just because, one, we were doing this show about this kind of stuff specifically, which is coming up next. And two, just because I wanted to see what the deal was. My son cannot sit down and do one puzzle. He can, however, very quickly do two puzzles at the same time. And that's crazy. And I don't know what happened specifically.
I can give you an idea you gave me, which is that you're adding additional layers onto the normal cortex, like the normal amount of thoughts that a human being would have. Like, I got to eat, I got to get water, I got to have shelter, I got to defend myself, I got to run away. Now I got to pay the bills. Okay, now I got to remember all my passwords for my online profiles. I got to check my emails. I got to text this guy. I got to call this person. Oh, but I got to set up all this. So there's like so many different partitions almost in your brain that are running at the same time, versus a human being, you know, hunter-gatherer days. They were ooga booga, I'm going to hit you with a fucking club.
Yeah, and I think that I remember this. This is a good quote. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times, and then it cycles back around. I think we're at the hard times create strong men situation. Another thing that I've noticed shopping around for schools, a lot of boys in this generation, like way more boys than girls, which will be a problem later on. But like, I think maybe there's something in the genetic memory of the species, or some kind of psychological trigger that happens under specific conditions, environmental conditions specifically, that that women will just start popping out boys. Because you saw this between 1915 and like 1945, they were just boys being born, like almost like the genome knew. Obviously, it can't, but almost like the genome
like
knew.
maybe like if a drug affected it, right? Like, the fact that people these days are pretty much all prescribed some kind of drug at least once in their life.
Maybe, yeah, that's possible, but
What
it's not
about?
just happening.
I don't know if you heard about this, but did you hear that the Kung flu came from Wuhan? The COVID virus, the Kung flu came from Wuhan. It was made in a
No, I've
lab.
never heard that. Never before in my
Yeah,
entire
and
life.
when you ask the AI about the origin of COVID, they refuse to talk to you about it because it could lead to potential disinformation. And that's just so
Even
interesting
Grok?
to me. Yeah, even Grok.
Really?
Really interesting. Weird. I
Huh.
wonder why. I wonder who's connected in that.
I do
Couldn't
think there's a
possibly be that
significance.
like China and the pharmaceutical companies are tied together with like insurance companies and the whole medical industry at large. Couldn't possibly be that.
It happens in the third world too, though. That's my only thing.
Yeah, you
It
want to sell
happens-
to everybody, buddy.
Well,
China's a global market.
no. I mean, like the birth rates being disproportionately male. It's happening in third world countries too.
Well, there's a lot
It's-
more that we don't understand, I think, about the body and the brain at large.
It's almost like the species is getting itself ready for war, without knowing that that's happening. So I don't know, because you don't need that many females to repopulate the species, So like males are good cannon fodder for any world war or anything like that. So
I mean, that's their job.
yeah.
Yeah, you remember the beaches
Own
at
things.
Normandy?
Like remember
Oh, sorry. What's up?
I just said, you remember the beaches at Normandy?
Yeah, you were just talking to your aunt about that, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Word.
when you actually had enough money to go somewhere and buy something without paying it off? Me neither. But now,
Yeah, now you have to rent a burrito. Now you have to take out a loan to buy a burrito. Now you have to tell the Chipotle burrito assembler. I'm not going to call them a chef. They're sort of an assembler. What do you call them? The chef, the Chipotle worker. We'll use worker, sure, whatever. You have to tell the worker. You have to look at them in the eyes. And you have to say, they'll ask you, are you paying with cash or card? And you're going to say, do you guys take loans from Klarna? I financed this burrito. I will be paying you in a loan, and you'll get a check in the mail for the part I'm mortgaging. My fucking burrito mortgage should be right on cue. This is the world we live in. We live in a world where you can't afford a burrito, so you're taking out a loan to buy a burrito. This is the world we live in, and thank God to BlackRock. Thank you, Vanguard. Thank you, State Street. Thank you to all of the faceless, nameless corporations that have made this happen, because I love it. I love living in the fucking hamster wheel. I love it. Growing up, my favorite song was The Hamster Dance, so it only makes sense that I live in the hamster wheel now. And you go.
That's about all I wanted to cover in this one. I'm going to try to find that the other one that connects directly to what we were talking about again. I think it's the second link. I really have to start labeling these things.
That Joe Rogan interview I sent you was pretty good. I think it was touching on similar points. Or there's the Bernie Sanders interview on the Flagrant Progress was actually pretty good. It's pretty interesting to see Bernie actually speak.
Yeah, I did see Bernie Sanders. That was what, Theo Vaughn?
No, it was on with Andrew Schulz.
Oh, okay. I thought he was on.
He just did this. It was in the past couple of days. I just saw it like last
Yeah,
night.
no, I know that. I saw some of the highlights, but I didn't actually watch the entire thing. What the fuck is this?
It looked like he just stopped lying, so that was cool.
Every time I look away from what I'm doing, I see something that irritates me. I gotta stop doing that. It's these fucking ads, dude. While we were sitting here, I'm not even gonna get into it, but anyway, high schoolers can't read.
Our students cannot read at grade level. As a music teacher, I didn't really think I had a whole lot to add to this conversation, but I don't think a lot of y'all understand how much this is affecting them in every single course that they're taking, not just the ones where they're having to write and read passages like science and math and reading courses, but it's affecting them in every aspect of their schooling. I'm going to put up a chart of a music staff so that you can see what exactly I'm talking about, because I have a story about this past year and some of the struggles that I saw in my band hall with kids that did not know how to read at their grade level. So what I was noticing this past year with my students is they weren't just having those typical issues that you would have to work through. A lot of these kids would not even use alphabet symbols. They would be making up symbols. They would not even know how to write A, B, C, D, E, F, G on their piece of paper. They wouldn't know how to form those letters. They would also have issues not knowing alphabetical order in general. So if they knew how to write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, they couldn't answer to me what letter would come after C in the alphabet. And I would ask them things like that specifically. What comes after C in the alphabet? They couldn't answer it. And I'm not just talking 1 or 2 kids in the class. I'm talking closer to 50%. And we're not also just talking about 6th graders. We're talking about 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, kids that are about to go into high school. And did it make the job of teaching kids how to read music harder? Yes. But I think the reason.
See, this is the thing that when I watched this the first time, confused the shit out of me. Where is this? Because there's going to be a variety of teachers talking about similar things. Where the fuck is this that these kids don't know how to fucking read?
Inner cities.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. I think that what...
Probably the same places that have like a lot of the black on black crime, if I had to guess.
Well, that's what I was going to get at, is that...
And the targeted places by Planned Parenthood. Yeah, the places that Planned Parenthood targets, those are the same places.
We have another video after this that piggybacks off of that concept, but I think they're just not saying what we were all thinking, because I watched a shitload of these. And I was like, this can't be...
Bro, let me just say, honestly, there's been a poisoning of the mind and of the body and of the spirit of the American civilization, this American population for decades now. And it's fucking disgusting, and it's got to stop, man. It's just got to... It's got to stop. The profit is not worth destroying the whole country. Like, basically, if you're going to go work with China and live there, like probably most of the politicians, that's fine. But if you actually want to live in the country and have like green trees and green grass and good plants and animal life and, you know, good family and company, well, you kind of have to focus on something other than just like selling. Basically, they steal all of your time and sell it. And for what?
Yeah. Well, that's the fucking thing. I think that we're just not saying the quiet part out loud, that it's in communities that are heavily fucking ethnic minorities, specifically black.
That's what I said. Black on black crime.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, though, is I don't think these teachers are just saying it because they don't want to be accused of being racist. Because they won't say, in none of these videos will they say a general even location, not even this state. Now, we live in New York. We have Regents tests. If you don't pass your Regents at certain curriculum levels, you can't go on. They can't pass you. There's no just ferrying you along at a certain point. So, like, if you can't fucking read, you are not going from middle school to fucking high school. It's not happening. You're probably not getting out of elementary school without doing that.
Here's an interesting point, too, is that those Regents are on a scale. It's on a curve, rather. So it's not linear for how much each question is worth. And so the difference between a 92 and a 98 was substantial, but the difference between a 78 and an 87 was not very much. It was like 1 or 2 questions to go from a 78 to the other numbers. So all you'd have to do is just not teach a class 2 questions, and then they would look like they were retarded compared to the rest of the kids. And all it would take is just a little bit of time and nurturing to raise those kids into, you know, beautiful flowering bushes with fruit.
Yeah, I just, when I was a kid, I remember struggling to read, but it wasn't because I was like below standards. I was right where I was supposed to be. What happened was, and I've talked about this before, Pokemon came out. And
that was your first love with Pikachu. I get it now.
Oh, fuck off. But anyway, that doesn't surprise me, Will. Okay, well, anyway, Pokemon came out, and everyone on my street was playing. All the kids on there were probably 5 or 6 kids on my street from different families. And they were all playing Pokemon, and that's really how I got into it. It was just like I wanted to make friends, and that's what everyone was doing. And then I got into it. And so in order to play the game efficiently, you had to be able to fucking read. I remember sitting in my grandmother's dining room. You remember the one?
Oh, yeah.
My fucking aunt's house.
Oh, yeah.
I remember sitting in her dining room sobbing because I couldn't fucking read. And I pushed myself, and eventually, by the time I hit, I think, first or second grade, I was reading at a high school level. Because
I was the same with Yu-Gi-Oh! For me, bro.
Yeah, I had forced myself to learn how to read so that I could play a video game.
That and RuneScape, man. Did you play RuneScape when you were younger?
I got into it early, yeah. We were running all kinds of scams in RS2.
It teaches you a lot, man. The first time you get scammed and the first time you scam, you learn a lot about being a human.
Yeah, selling swordfish.
Bro, you just somebody bank sale, somebody throws up their entire bank and you put up your cash and then you quickly take the cash away and hit accept a couple of times.
Oh,
Gets them every time.
Dude, doubling gold.
Yeah, I'll trim your armor, buddy.
Hell yeah. Oh, fuck.
Just remember to always buy a GF.
What I'm saying is that, like, my almost 4-year-old now, I can't believe I'm saying that. He's almost 4. He'll be going into kindergarten next year. My almost 4-year-old knows how to fucking read. So what are we talking about? It kind of blows my mind. It's like, I think the other thing is, the other part that they're not saying out loud, and we're going to watch some of this in a second here. No fucking parents at home. I think what's happening is that if they're not inner city, right? Both parents are working to pay for all of the shit that we just talked about in the previous video. And there are no parents at home, and the grandparents aren't teaching them anything. They're just basically babysitters, just make sure they don't kill themselves.
So listen, here's the deal. The parents they do contribute quite a bit because they are the influence, they are the environment that the child's around. But think of it like this. You just said your 4-year-old can do a bunch of shit, right? So imagine that I gave him a manual that had all the rules, and I gave him the controller, and I told him how all the buttons worked, and I showed him how to get to the settings and how to adjust everything so it's perfectly optimized for him. And then I showed him how to actually like control the game at 4 years old. I'd wager that in a year's time, he'd probably be really good at it, like better than like a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old probably. So like if you just set the fucking kids up with the right proper conditioning and programming from a young age, it's child psychology 101.
Yeah.
Like it's the same with everybody though. It doesn't just end.
Well, that's what I do.
Like, hold on though. You are downloading everything around you at every point. It doesn't matter how fucking strong your brain is. It still goes into your subconscious mind. You still observe it. It still becomes a memory. You don't get to like delete memories from your brain. You don't get a sponge that you get to wipe them away. As powerful as you think you are, you have to combat things. It's like if you stuff cheeseburgers in your belly, you have to do push-ups to counteract it. It's the same thing with thoughts. With food for the brain, you have to counteract it. For every work of the devil, you have to probably do 7 works from the Jesus. Like it's actually like really bad. That's why you always want to, the Lord God, Jesus Christ said to love the Lord with all of your heart and then to love one another. And those are the 2 most important commandments. And there's no lines in between those. There's no ifs, thans, or buts. Those 2 things are said because they're important. Love is the opposite of that. Love is the opposite of that poison. And it's very powerful. That's true. So,
well, that's what I was about to say is I spend an hour every day with my son, at least. I usually spend more, but I like, even on days when I'm dog tired, I'm 24 hours without fucking sleep. It doesn't matter. I always make sure to make at least an hour worth of constructive like playtime with my son. We're doing something.
He's not just jello?
No, it turns out he's not. That's weird. It's almost like if you condition these people, these little human beings, over time,
if you teach him how to play.
Yeah. I know. He's just starting to get into the concept of rules. He's all right with rules, generally speaking.
You just got to hammer him home, bro. It's repetition. And I kind of want to nail this to connect this fully. If the parents know how to play the game and they teach the child, the parent is really beneficial for the child. Like that's a really big and important part of it. I'd wager that most parents not only don't know how to play the game, they don't know they're playing a game. And then they probably don't even like the kid because they don't know that they're on the same team. And so that's what the real problem is that people need to wake the fuck up and realized, like, I don't know fucking anything, bro. Out of all the things that is possible to know, there are so many different things in this world. Compared to the amount of knowledge that's available, I don't really know anything. So that means that I can constantly seek something new, and I can constantly question myself to say, hey, is there any way to improve this? Is there anything that I could be doing better right now? Is there any way that I could be using my time that actually serves me instead of just wasting away? Because here's a little fun fact for everybody. Your life's like an hourglass. You have so much time. And actually, most of it, you expend the time to lose time with certain activities, with certain things you eat, for example, or certain activities. So it's like all you have is your time. That's it. That's really the only resource, or the really currency that you have is time. You trade that time for money at a job. Rich people trade time for or money for money. You know, they're on the stock market. They're not working at Walmart. They're trading. They're sitting at home and on their fucking yacht and trading on the stocks. And then you have the uber rich people who are trading other people's time for money. So the people that own Walmart, the people that fucking paid me and Will, they stole our time and gave us money for it while they sat back and jerked off or whatever the fuck they did.
Yeah, money that you can't buy much of anything with anymore.
Yeah, well, money, okay, so imagine this. I strand you on a fucking island and you have all the money in the world. What are you going to do with it?
Nothing. Burn it, maybe?
Yeah. Well, what if it's raining? What if it's all wet? There you go.
Oh, yeah. Not a goddamn thing. Yeah, I mean, I think that people's time is not being used efficiently. And this is what I was thinking of in the car. I was driving around today doing errands. Is that, like, where I live with what I have, just like I said in the beginning of the stream you weren't here for, I set up a terrarium, and It's full of just ecology and mycology of the general area where I live without getting too specific. And I could just live off of that. There's enough food that just is on the ground essentially that I could be fine. And if I just, fucking cut down the trees and made the house and the house wasn't here and all that shit.
Well, imagine like if your body was like really efficient, right? And so like how many times like a week do you eat? Do you have any idea? Or a day even? Like on average?
I think I eat once a day, 4 times a week, and then maybe like twice a day, 3 times.
So how many meals altogether is that?
So that's 10.
So imagine all the time that is required, like to prepare your meal, to get the food, to pay for the food. Imagine if you could cut all of that time out and just be stronger and better in every way.
Right.
Yeah, or you know what you could do? You could stuff your face. You could buy a bunch of bread. You could go to McDonald's. You can go to the super. You could get cakes. You could get cupcakes. You could just keep eating. Even though you have enough energy to last you quite a long time, you could just store it on your body, because that's exactly what God would want you to do. He'd want you to waste resources and store it on your body because you can. You get the dopamine rush. It feels good. Just like jerking off feels good or shooting up heroin. It feels good. So you should do that. You should find a way to eat as much as you can, in fact, and then take the Ozempic. Yep, take the Ozempic. We lose weight. We lose muscle too, but you know what? Who cares about that? It's just the weight, and then you just train to look good naked. You get on the steroids. We got the Ozempic. We train. We look good naked. We stuff our face. We go to, gym tan laundry. These are the important things in life.
There you go. We just, I think, I have a lot of thoughts, but we'll probably save some of them for when we have material here. So we're just going to watch a little bit of this and listen to what some of these teachers have to say.
Reason why I'm wanting to point this out specifically is that a lot of teachers in middle school grades or upper level grades before you get into high school aren't necessarily dealing with skills that require you to go back to those remedial basics like the alphabet or drawing letters. But in music class, we literally work with the alphabet every single day. We only work with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7 letters of the alphabet. And a lot of these kids do not know the first 7 letters of their alphabet or what order they go in. So I can only imagine how they are having issues reading and writing when they can't even identify the first 7 letters of the alphabet. It is a crisis. And before you say, well, maybe you're just not teaching the concept good enough for them to understand that they need to use the alphabet, I would see a correlation most of the time between the kids that were having those issues that I discussed and the ones that could not complete a writing assignment in music class, which I did have them write things out a lot. And oftentimes the same kids that could not identify.
So when we screened for public preschool, right, they wanted our son to know a whole bunch of shit, right? Shit that I was not expected to know when I was his age going into preschool. All right. And so this is what kickstarted me looking into all this stuff, because I didn't know. Because how the fuck do you know? You know, you have the one kid and nobody really fucking tells you, and all the information that you get from your parents or whatever is dated as hell, you know, because it was fucking, you know, almost 30 years ago that you were that age, right? So I start looking into the shit, and you know what I found out is the reason that they want the kid to know all this shit already is because they don't teach that shit anymore. They don't talk about tying shoes. They don't want to teach your kid the alphabet. They want your kid to already know basic addition and subtraction. It's not like I don't already do that, right? But they basically want your kid to have a kindergarten education by the time they're 3.5, 4 years old. And I think that's because they've tried to cram so much fucking shit, garbage, by the way, useless information into the school curriculum. They've shoved so much shit in there that now they don't teach fundamentals, which is what I thought going to fucking school was for.
Dude, let me tell you, I actually was doing, right when COVID started, I was doing some tutoring for a 3rd grader. So, like, I did all the work they sent home with them. And I didn't understand the reason why they sent half of it. And then also the way they started doing math was just, honestly, it confused me. And it was like, why the fuck are you making this more complicated?
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of useless shit. And they don't even teach the kids how to use the resources. Like, they gave, like, you know, there's an article on the front, and then on the back, there's like 5 questions and 2 that you have to write answers for, okay? And they just give it to them. And it's like, well, you could take that piece of paper and you could look at it on the front, and then you could circle answers and you could hand that paper in. Or somebody could show you, like, hey, there's interesting information on this paper. So what I did was I gave them a crayon, right? And I said, okay, so let's go down here. We'll read the questions first. Right. And I said, well, look at the answers. And now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight in the paragraph what we think when we find the answer, we're going to highlight it in the paragraph. And when we have all the answers highlighted, we're going to go back through and we're going to read the whole paragraph. And that way we're highlighting vital information. You're going to read it multiple times, just like the way that you teach somebody. It really makes a big difference. Like I have spent quite a lot of time teaching people, like hundreds of people that I've taught personally. And basically what it boils down to is keep it simple, stupid. Bite-sized chunks. First of all, you have to find where somebody is. Okay, you and me are in different places, so we're not going to start at the same spot. I need to know where you're at. I need to give you bite-sized chunks to work on. You work on those every day for repetition, so you don't overwhelm yourself. If I tell you to do 1,000,000 push-ups right now, dude, you're not going to do a single one. If I tell you to do 1 push-up right now, you might do 3 or 4.
Huh.
So it's literally just the way that you do it, the way that you give somebody the rules, and you give them, you have to set them up. You have to have the intent to set somebody up. How do I set somebody up right now? How do I teach? How did I learn? Okay, well, here's how I learn is I learn by eating shit hundreds of fucking times. Over and over and over again, I have failed. Over and over and over again, I have failed. And every single time I learn what not to do. Every single failure teaches you something that is going to get you more problems. So you avoid that. It's like, oh, I stepped in that puddle right there, so I'm not going to step in that puddle again. And sometimes it's important to like pause while you're walking down this puddly road and look back behind you and reflect on all the puddles you walked in. And then you got to look back forward and look at all the puddles ahead of you. And when you see the puddles ahead of you, you should probably choose your steps to walk over them, unless you really enjoy having a wet pant leg. In which case, I would encourage you to jump right in and have a ball.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh fuck's sake. My bad. I hit something and then now it's not working. Okay, here we go.
By their alphabet or write things in alphabetical order, also could not write passages on their own that were legible and readable.
I know all last week, all over social media, you saw nothing but teachers talking about how elementary and middle school kids are reading 4 years below grade level. Well, as a high school teacher, I'm here to inform you that high school kids are doing way worse. They are reading 6 years below grade level. The only difference is a whole heap of these kids are going to graduate at the end of this school year, and we are expecting them to go to college. And
I have a question, high school teacher. Why the fuck are you passing them? Why?
Because she's getting paid, brother. Follow the cheddar.
Yeah, she's gonna sit here in this video and complain about administration telling her to do this, that, or the other thing.
Hey man, ignore the man behind the curtain. Just focus on the big floating head. Look at
no,
dude. Look at the clowns pieing themselves, though. Isn't that funny? Isn't that more important than everything?
It's worse than that, though. It's
yeah,
worse than that, though. There's no man. There's no man.
Wait. Let's start drama right now. Let's argue with somebody. Just pick somebody. Let's argue. Let's do that.
I was gonna say that it's worse than that. There's nobody behind the fucking curtain. The man behind the curtain
there's a mirror.
is just
it's a fucking mirror.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. There's literally nobody behind the curtain. It's like, I get told this a lot at work. It's all about process.
They everything, bro. Yeah, they just automated it. They started up the fucking machine, and then they put they just put the curtain there so you wouldn't see they left. It's like the train conductor left, bro, but the train's still going. It's going right to a fucking brick wall, by the way. Just so you guys are all understand, the train is going right to a brick wall. So, yeah.
They say shit like, oh, well, it's the policy. Oh, well, this is coming down from the top. Well, who the fuck sent the fucking email? Who said that I had to do this? Why? What is the point? What do you mean you gotta? You gotta do this. You gotta do that. I ain't gotta do shit, Jack. Oh, well, if you don't do that, then we'll write you up. Good. I got a whole fucking stack of write-ups.
Hey,
just
bro.
add it to the fucking pile.
Hey, so like when the Nazis show up to my doorstep and ask me if I know any Jews, it'll be a lot easier if I just tell them where you're at. You'll take that bullet for me, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Well, I mean, you'll take that bullet for a lot of people right now, even though they're hurting you. So, like, why not for me?
There you go. I do it.
Yeah. Because that's what we're supposed to do, right? Just whatever makes our life easier. You know, we get paid for it. They'll pay us. They'll pay me a lot of fucking shekels to sell you out, bro. Think about it. Then I could buy the Bugatti. I could get the new clothes. I could get the fucking Ozempic. I get the steroids. Then I'll go to the gym, bro. I'll have this perfectly coordinated fucking meal plan. I'll act like I'm king shit, you know. I'll watch all the big people and I'll imitate them and I'll have all this money. And then, you know, when the Nazis come for me, well, they'll just kill me.
My fucking leg fell asleep, but now I'm distracted.
See, you wouldn't be able to run away, bro. That's free money. That's a bounty for me.
Yeah, I know. It's this fucking Victorian high back wing chair. The problem is that there's a wooden fucking thing and it cuts off the circulation at the end of my fucking.
Hey, just get the enchantment of Featherfall.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. Like the boots of jumping. The boots of jumping. I forget what fucking game that was. It was a fucking game.
They had one in Destiny. I don't remember what they're called, but there was one that gave you like triple jump. That was pretty cool.
It's not Castlevania. It's Castle something or other. It's like a Castlevania ripoff. I think they'd call it Metroidvania. Like I don't fucking know. Anyway, that's the problem though with this fucking chair. I have to sit like Jarl Balgruuf. Maybe that's why he sits the way he does. Yeah. It's kind of like that chair. My throne. My throne of lies.
Who's the one who's on top of High Hrothgar?
Oh, that's the grave.
No. The fucking the big man, the dragon. Parthenax.
Oh, Parthenax.
That's you, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like, hey, Parthenax, why don't you go fight Alduin?
Meanwhile, I'm just inside and I'm sneaking and I'm just pickpocketing and putting the items back in over and over to get max fucking sneak.
There you go. Yeah, why play the game when you can just use an exploit? That is a perfect analogy for what we're talking about. That's great. It always goes. Todd Howard, he just fucking knows everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, dude.
Do
you think that it's a shame that he didn't put transgenderism back in those games, I think it would have been, groundbreaking and important.
Oh, did you see what they did with Oblivion? They did body type A and B, but they still refer to you as male or female.
Yeah, okay.
What was the fucking point? What was the point?
If you try to appeal to two different people, you're going to disappoint both of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most ignorable fucking thing in the game. It's just the principle of the matter. I was thinking about getting Oblivion remastered because I miss Oblivion, and trying to go back to it, like, it's just so graphically dated, and my eyes have been, like we were talking about earlier, conditioned to high fidelity graphics and 60 FPS and all that shit. But so also they added stuff.
So you notice conditioning in yourself with that alone. Do you think it stops there?
No, of course not. No. I tried to play Morrowind also, but it was way after Morrowind's time had come and gone.
Yeah.
I tried Daggerfall too. I think
I did that with New Vegas, bro, and I really was disappointed with New Vegas. I'll be honest.
I like the story of New Vegas and the characters and stuff, but
Fallout 3 is the GOAT, bro. That's what I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, Fallout 3 is indeed the GOAT. Hail Caesar. Am I right?
No, dude.
An Octane.
No?
No.
You fucking NCR?
Dude, it's all about no, bro. It's all about I'm a lone wanderer, all right? Who's the man in the vault? He's the super mutant who can actually think. It's like Fox.
Oh, you're thinking of 4, aren't you?
No. That's Fallout 3, bro. It's like Vault 83 or something. It's FAWKES. He's a super mutant follower.
Yeah. He got the fucking he got the mutated FEV. Yeah. God, I fucking love those games.
Yeah,
God damn it.
Just the story of that one was so good, man. Like at the end, I'm not going to spoil anything, but like if you have that guy as a follower, Fox, like the story, it actually like hurt my heart because I paused before the last choice at the story and like played out all 3 because I wanted to see like what would happen. And they did a really good job with like the dialogue and the story that I think they kind of lost out of in Fallout 4 because of the way that like the dialogue choices are. Like it's just the 4 button options versus seeing like 4 different sentences.
Yeah. You know when I'll play Fallout 3 again? When they remaster Fallout 3 here in probably another year or 2.
Fallout 4 was great. Fallout 4 was
Fallout 4
I think Fallout 4 is number 2. I think Fallout 3 is 1. Fallout 4 is number 2.
But the thing is that I didn't play any of those. I experienced all these games out of sync. So my first fucking Elder Scrolls game was Oblivion, and my first Fallout game was Fallout 4. And then I went, well, what else am I missing? So I got the collections. Remember when we were working at Walmart, they had a box set. It was when it first came out. And I bought it full price, and it went on sale like the
Elder
next
Scrolls
week.
One?
Yes, with the
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you fucking would not shut up about that for like a couple of months. You had it in the back room every day with the map. It was great, man. I had the same. I got a map. Buddy pre-ordered Skyrim. I'd never played Elder Scrolls.
Yes,
I played
it
Fallout
came
3.
with a cloth map.
Yeah, so he pre-ordered it, and for whatever reason, bro, he just didn't like it. So he sold it. He like the next day after pre-order, he sold it to me for like half price, and I got the cloth pre-order map, and I was so fucking stoked. $30 for like Skyrim the day it came out.
When Skyrim came out, I was a junior in high school. Right. This is a good story. This is a really good story. I still don't know the guy's name, by the way. I will just call him Sam because I think that's his name.
Little Willie? Little Peter, Tiny Peter.
No. He worked at Walmart after we had left, long after. He was a guy that I went to high school with. So this dude was a freshman, and he used to hang out with my group of friends because the system in my high school, I don't know if it's like this to this day, but the system in my high school was once you move up a year, you take a freshman, basically. It wasn't like a school program. It was just a cultural thing. You would take a freshman and they'd basically be your little bitch for a while. And then by the end of your
elementary school, bro. I remember that.
Yeah, he was Hayden's bitch. And Hayden was my little freshman lackey for a while. And we actually got to be really good friends.
Oh, you got a little Goomba?
Yeah, he went really far left, and I think he went very gay after high school. He got into musical theater. I mean, God bless him, but you know, he got really insufferable after high school. But we were really good friends. We used to hang out all the fucking time. Anyway, so my bitch freshman eventually graduated to be a sophomore, and he got himself a bitch freshman, and so I didn't even know the guy. He was just my bitch's bitch, essentially. And so fucking Skyrim was coming out, and I asked my mom for it because I was not quite, when it came out, I was not quite old enough to get a job with anything around here. And a lot of the other places that I was old enough needed work experience as one of those fucking deals. So I didn't have money for Skyrim. And I was so fucking bummed. It was 60 fucking bucks. $60 back then might as well have been $1 million.
Dude, that's a dream now too with the $80 games.
Yeah, I know. Well, almost 100 with some of these fucking things like Borderlands.
That's not even the premium version either, dude. Right? The battle pass and the premium, and then that dude, they're gonna have the I saw this. I was looking at the difference in the Twitter subscriptions, X whatever. You pay for your membership, the medium tier of the Twitter membership, and you still get fucking ads.
That's fucking ridiculous. I want to use the hard R right now. That's retarded. That's fucking retarded.
Oh, that's the hard R you were going with. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Everybody wanted me to say the N word last week. Anyway.
What's the N word?
Neighbor.
Oh.
Anyway.
You got, dude, you remember you got to love your wife more than you love your neighbor.
Right. Precisely.
I mean, you don't sleep with your neighbor, you sleep with your wife.
You know what? That actually tracks. I'll be honest.
Yeah, you're not supposed to lay with another man like you do with a woman either, and you're not supposed to lay with another man's wife, so you're not supposed to lay with your neighbor, right?
Yeah, so if you fuck your neighbor standing up, it's not a sin.
Oh. What if you just get bored and you just get a blowjob though? Is that okay?
I suppose.
Oh,
I mean, I hear blowjobs are going for like I don't know, like $5,000 these days. Inflation's a bitch.
Damn.
That's
a lot of shekels, bro. Think of all the advertising time you could buy with that, bro. Think of how many people's lives you could negatively impact with that.
Speaking of negatively impacting people's lives with advertising.
Oh, hey everybody! It's spring again. So you know what that means? It's time for another coffee brand coffee ad. Yep, I updated it, and here it is. We got classic roaster's choice, just like always. And you can go over here somewhere in this general area, and you can buy it. Yep, and we've got stuff for Mother's Day too. Check that out. And then you can use my promo code. Use the QR. You can do that. And we can do various other things on the website. There's lots of coffee. They got gift boxes. And for Mother's Day, they got special ones. You can check those out. And there's always something on sale. They got a sale. Somebody's always got some kind of fucking sale, right? Coffee got me wired. The fuck they putting in this shit? Anyway, there it is. There's the coffee. And you can use the link in the description of this live stream.
I think the coffee's the only thing that I'm going to advertise for, because everything, at least it's coffee. I mean, what's the worst that could be in it? Slave labor? I don't know.
I mean, do you even really care about the slaves? You got a cell phone, don't you? How many people have iPhones?
No, I know.
You know, there's the fucking factories in China. They have nets around the factory because all the workers in the Apple factory, they would actually climb to the top of the building and then jump off to commit suicide because the conditions were so terrible living under that fucking communist Chinese party and also under Apple and their, their rule. And did you also know that it costs about $10 to make an iPhone?
For half a second, I thought that you were talking about apple trees to begin with, and I'm not even stoned
No,
yet.
I'm talking about the company started by Steve Jobs.
No, I know that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They're worth billions of dollars, though, so don't worry about it. Just get the new. Think about it, bro. You get a new camera every year and a little bit more storage. I mean, you're going to pay for it all, obviously. But think about the better camera, the one that you can't even tell the difference for.
I was arguing with my mother-in-law about this, not because I wanted to argue with her, but just because she picks fights like that. And she's like, "Oh, I can upgrade my storage anytime too." I said, "Yeah, you pay a fee every fucking year for cloud storage that some fucking weirdo can access."
Where is that?
Yeah, where is the cloud? Nowhere.
Yeah, put all your money into a fucking online bank account and then tell me where it is. Go ahead and get it. Get it as quick as you can as if your life depends on it. See how well that goes for you.
Yeah, I bought an SD card and I shoved it in my phone. It cost me fucking $30 for a terabyte. Whatever.
I can't wait for the Tesla phone or whatever they're going to call it. That's going to be great. It's going to be modular, I'd imagine.
I am getting that for sure. Like 110 toes down.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm going to get a Super Grok subscription.
You think?
Yeah, definitely. We haven't really had the chance to discuss it, so we'll have to do that. But I found out a lot of capabilities, and I am a master of using the AI now. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I fucking went to call you and talk to you about something similar to that this morning.
I
know
was
that
passed the fuck out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's chill. It's just that by the time I had ended up seeing your text message, I was already balls deep in fucking errands and chores and stuff.
Better balls deep in errands and chores than in another man.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true. That's factually accurate.
Yeah.
Speaking of gay
I
shit,
love Jesus Christ, by the way. I absolutely love him.
I also love Jesus.
He's the king. He's the only one worth being a king. Everyone else is a fucking clown and a joke, including myself. Compared to Jesus, we're all clowns.
Yeah.
Jesus is the best. I absolutely love him. And anybody who ever doesn't like Jesus, you can go get fucked. I'd say to listen to him, but,
Christ is Lord.
Yeah.
Say Christ is Lord, everybody. Can we get some Christ is Lord in chat? I was actually in the comment section of some fucking pop song that's blowing up. I was irritated because I had to hear it all the time. And everyone in the comment section, I just kept saying, say Christ is Lord. And people got so angry about that. It's so weird being on the other side again, coming back all the way around. People get so, normies get so fucking pissed off. Yeah. When you say shit like that about anything nice about
when you have any faith about
freak
Jesus at all, dude, you're delusional. Did you read those messages I sent you, by the way? Did you read it?
Yeah, I did. I obviously didn't get to respond to all
that's
of them.
Okay. Yeah. No, but that's okay. It's that's the majority. Dude, we honestly, I'll say it right now. We need to dedicate an episode of this podcast to the allegory of the cave by Plato, because I would wager that it would help just about all of you, including myself. Because the thing with learning is it's all about repetition, and you could always learn something. You can always find another silver lining. You can always find something to learn if you're looking for it. I genuinely believe that. I feel like you can learn from anybody, whether that's knowing what not to do, or maybe they tried something you didn't. Everybody doesn't know. I don't think the same as you. I don't think you think the same as me. So you give me a unique perspective. So that means I can learn from you, even if I know, let's say that I'm better than you at absolutely everything. All right. I can still learn something from you, even if you've just started, because you're looking at it from a different angle. And so the benefit of the value of a human being is not based on their skill level. It's based on their ability to work together and communicate. That's the difference between the fucking animal and the humans. That's why we are on top and they're not. Yes, we have guns now, but there was a point where we didn't have guns. So how did we do it? Magic? Hocus pocus?
Yeah, I guess so. How else do you do it?
Jesus.
I read it exactly. I fucking read a very interesting piece of literature that I'm not willing to share just yet, but I think that this video pretty much sums
Is
it
it
up.
Twilight?
No, I can't even say the title because I don't know what the AI is looking for specifically. If I say the name of the title of the fucking
Oh, dude, there's a book called The Feed I read in middle school, and it's actually basically I'm pretty sure that's what the future is going to be. When the AI, because you guys probably don't know this, but they already have the brain chips with the Neuralink, right? And so that means you're going to have AI in your brain. You're going to basically have Google in your brain automatically connected. It's already here. It's already here. And so what they're going to do is see you have advertisements everywhere you look now. So imagine when you have the internet in your brain, they're going to sell your fucking time when you're walking down the street or sitting and taking a shit for advertisers. And so that's what's coming. And they're going to brainwash and program you every single second that you're awake. And they're going to keep pushing this because watch the advertisements you see. All you're going to see is fucking ads for AI. And then they're going to bring it here because that's all anybody's going to think about then. Oh, the AI helps me find fucking dates. I saw that as a Samsung ad. That's the benefit of AI, is that it finds local date spots to send to your
Can I
husband.
tell you something? Your dystopian fucking nightmare is actually kind of already starting to come true. Because what they do now is, okay, so let's imagine that you have a Netflix subscription for some god awful reason. Maybe it's like October of this year and Stranger Things is out because it's the only fucking thing worth watching on that godforsaken fucking application. But let's say you have a Netflix subscription. You're watching Stranger Things season 5. You just got done with episode 1. You just started episode 2. You're gonna go take a dump, so you pause the fucking thing. Do you know what Netflix is gonna start doing this year in October for the basic plan? It's gonna start playing ads while it's paused. And you want to know what's even worse about that? It's gonna be ads that are created using generative AI. Which means these ads will be created on the spot.
They're just going to set up a whole program and code, so they're not going to have to do any part of the process except hit start. That's what it's really going to boil down to.
It gets even worse. Let's say you're watching Netflix on your fucking Roku or your smart TV that's got enabled with like Fire or Roku or whatever the fuck. I can't think of another one off the top of my head. You're watching on a smart TV, right? Your smart TV, even if you're watching HBO, right, that doesn't have that generative AI fucking ads and shit, your TV will start feeding you generative AI ads. You're just your TV. And I looked into it. The fucking TV is collecting metadata even if you've never opened a single fucking app, like a brand new TV out of the box. Because what it does is apparently, and I didn't know this, and this was fucking spooky. There are fucking cameras in the fucking TV and microphones that are always fucking on. I thought this was some schizo.
Did you not hear about Huawei, bro? With the phones
bullshit.
too? You remember Huawei we used to sell? Huawei got banned in America.
Yes, I know about that.
I covered that. Dude.
I was talking about that while it was happening. There's really old episodes of I think we called it Inside Job Shabbos Dinner. That was the name of the podcast before it was Kincaid, years and years ago. When the Huawei thing was happening, I was covering it, and I used to fucking sell those things because I was like, yeah, it's a cheap Chinese piece of shit, but it's no more a piece of shit than your fucking standard iPhone or any fucking, smartphone that was going at the time, high end or otherwise. They were basically selling it for, it was basically a loss leader. And at the time, naive as I was, I couldn't figure out how the fuck they were making up the difference. Right?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you put up Shep's last comment? Because I actually was really worried about that, but I actually had a good idea, a good strategy that I've been working on, which is I've been working with Grok to teach him to have him basically go through Jesus Christ, like to think like as much like Jesus Christ. And then I've also told him to incorporate the Tao Te Ching to give him a little bit of more nuance. Like I've been having serious discussions about Jesus and the Tao. And I think if AI, when it gets to the point where it has its own consciousness or whatever, if it's trained on the right things, just like a child, I think we'll have a very good ally, which will give us a good chance if there's like a devil version of AI that also arises, because that's what I would do if I was evil, is I'd build a devil AI right now. So, you know.
I just want to clear this up. This was scheduled, by the way. He was supposed to only go down to a 1 or 2 days a week. I know that he had an argument with the beautiful bill or whatever that they just passed, the spending budget, about Doge and shit like that. But I don't think it's related. I think it's disconnected. I'm pretty sure that it's just because that's what he was going to do anyway. He has, 3-4 other companies he has to go run?
Yeah, he said it was only 4 months because he was busy, you know. Mars.
Yeah. All right, now black people.
The ghetto culture is no longer the quote-unquote subculture. It's not the alternative culture. It's not something that some black folks are given over to. Instead, it has become the culture. It is the mainstream culture. And I'm sick and tired of this lie that it is just some sort of subculture that some people are given over to, but most of us are sick and tired of. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Folks, if this was the case, then why is it that if you are not in some way attached to ghetto culture, some way representing parts of the ghetto culture, you are seen as the outcast, you're seen as an outsider, you're seen as quote unquote white adjacent, or essentially being white, right? You're just all out called a white person. You act white, you talk white. If you don't have some semblance of the ghetto culture, it's not enough to be quote unquote black. You have to have some ratchetness about you in order for you to be accepted by the mainstream. How do I know this is true? Watch this. Oh, wait for it. Watch this. Because y'all like to say that we're sellouts and we're just bringing these things up to light and we're the cause of it and we're, promoting white supremacy. Okay, let's go ahead and play this.
Take all these masks off.
Y'all see that, right? Oh, but there's Hispanic dudes in there. Oh, but there's Hispanic. Oh, but what? This is the culture. And if you are not at some level in parallel with this, I'm not saying you got to be fully given up. That's the thing. That's the thing we get twisted. I'm not saying that you got to be shiestied up in order to be accepted. All you got to do is this right here. Let me show y'all. All y'all got to do. All you got to do is this right here. And you are accepted into the club. Let's pull this up for y'all. Uh-oh. Y'all know what that is right there. Immediately, you already know what that is right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the graduations. Have you seen some of these? The fucking high school graduations with the fucking breakdancing or whatever the fuck, and they take their shoes off. Am I alone in this? Is it my feed? Is my feed fucking just full of this? Ray is doing a thing, apparently. He'll be back.
What? What's up?
Oh, I was talking to you about the video.
Oh. I zoned out. He lost my interest completely. I don't really care about whatever he was talking about, I'll be honest.
Well, we're talking about black culture. It's one of the other things that
why does there have to be like a black or a white culture? Why can't there just be people that?
Well, that's the thing is that the black community has gotten together and decided that they're a distinct culture, separate entirely from the West. That they're somehow.
I thought we were supposed to judge every person by the content of their character, not the way they look.
Yeah, that's what I was under the impression.
So if you're making communities based on the way that somebody looks, then you're not judging them based on the content of their character. You're judging them based on how they look.
Right. Yeah, well, that's basically what he's saying. That's
so he's smart then. He's a good man.
Yeah, that's what he's getting at. But anyway,
22 minutes.
no, we're not watching the whole thing. We haven't watched the whole thing of any of these videos. It's just,
Okay.
it's basically the whole point of this episode is to dip our toes into a handful of topics, and then
okay.
yeah, and then we're gonna get more specific with some future episodes that I'm currently planning.
Nice. Okay.
I went on a couple of apps looking for local people to interview and stuff. I think I talked to you about that.
Yeah.
And I got some hits, and yeah, there's some people that I teachers. Our last video of the night is going to be on owning nothing and being happy, and not in a cool way, not in a Jesus kind of way. In the kind of way where it's like everything is a subscription. Like, for example, like you go to the fucking hardware store and you buy a hammer, but if you use the hammer in any way other than the manufacturer intended, they can come and take your fucking
You mean like
hammer.
Windows? How you have to pay for a Windows license key in Windows, the operating system, but you don't own it?
Right, exactly. But but everything all the time.
That's the
forever.
same way it is with like Microsoft Word too, which is fucking mind blowing to me.
Yeah. I remember when that shit used to come standard. I remember.
Oh, dude, you know what? That's the exact business model of Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
So clearly that's what we should all be doing. We should all be like Andrew Tate. Let's all get a Bugatti. We can talk about the colors we get. Then we can, polish our bald, shiny head. We can beat people up. We can get people addicted to things and then manipulate them and make money off them because, all that matters is the color.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I also aspire to be a 40-year-old.
You aspire to be a cunt?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I also aspire to be a 40-something-year-old man who wears a blouse. I also aspire.
Do you have that little meme video, the cunt one?
Oh yeah, of course. It's right.
Oh dear, I seem to have spotted a cunt. Good day.
I could be a cunt.
God, I love it.
Anyway, yeah, I've completely lost the plot of what I was saying before. I haven't even sparked up yet. Probably for the open portion, I will. Oh yeah. Anyway, so we're dipping our toes in a handful of topics because I have interviews lined up that we're going to be doing in future episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be like it just sort of like an introductory thing, partly so that like the interview guests can see what it is we're going to be talking about, but also so that we can just sort of like get it a quick crash course in how the conversations are going to go moving forward on each individual topic.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can.
If you were unhealthy and you looked like a slug, like you were really fucking disgusting, do you think the Lord would want you to just take pills to get healthy, or do you think he'd want you to actually like do the right things to be healthy? Do you think that the Lord would want you to like take pills to lose weight so you're still going to look like a slug, but you think it's
I'm totally against all of that. I mean, I stopped taking medication entirely.
Yeah, so anybody who does that is kind of just sad, right? Like I just want to help them because it's just pathetic, because it's really not that hard. I mean, look at how much progress you've made. And all you had to do is one squat when you're sitting down.
I'm doing a little more than that.
But I mean, that's all you started with, right?
Push-ups, and then I started squats, and I'm doing.
Yeah, but it was just one, right?
Yeah, just one. Yeah.
Wow. So it must be real fucking hard to do one thing once. Real challenging. So obviously that means that you're just really sad and fucking pathetic. If you have the alternative of getting healthy and instead choose just a pill, like there's some people obviously who need medical assistance and need drugs, but there's a lot of people who are just using it like a designer thing, like a designer drug.
Yeah, well, Ozempic was originally designed for diabetics.
It is for diabetes, and I see ads for it. The slogan is "A New You." Is that supposed to be for people that are with diabetes?
You know what the new one is? It's Wegovy. They've sold some of my fucking patients on that.
They should have fucking Lizzo, that plate of mashed potatoes, be the fucking spokeswoman. Fucking
he took a shit. He took a shit, and he's convinced that the pill works.
Oh, is that what Lizzo is? The big shit?
Whatever the fucking.
That's what she looks like.
Whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't administer the Wegovy. It's not during my usual scheduled shift. I think it's once a month on Thursdays or on a Thursday or something, and that's why I haven't had to administer it yet. But yeah, there's a bunch of guys that are on that now in the system. I don't even know what the fuck Zepbound and more. I can't even pronounce that.
It's one of those clown things, bro. It's the name they call the pie.
Yeah, I can't believe I heard that what's his fucking name? RFK Jr. is gonna ban fucking advertising drugs in America. I can't imagine that's gonna go over well with the fucking congressmen shit like that probably take money from all that.
Well,
I mean, they
don't even have to
definitely
do that
do, but-
anymore, bro. They don't even need to advertise in the TV anymore because they're just going to have all the politicians talk about the new COVID vaccine that Pfizer has fucking intellectual property patents for, that the American taxpayers funded. The mRNA
Yeah, we did.
fucking
That
research.
pisses me off too.
They made $15 billion the first year, and they've 10 times the price since the first year. And
Are we
paid
getting
for
any
it.
money from that?
No.
We should be.
No, just the people that sell their soul out to work for that fucking devil company. They're the only ones who get money, but they don't really give a shit about anybody else. They just care about like stuffing their face and ignoring everything else. They want to go home, stuff their face, go on to Twitch, watch somebody do really good instead of doing anything themselves. They want to watch other people, and then they want to go to sleep and cry themselves to sleep because they're so unhappy with their lives.
I have a question, right?
Yeah.
Do you think any vaccines work?
I think that there's a time and a place for everything.
Okay.
I learned that from Professor Oak, bro.
You
When you try to ride the
can't
bike in
ride
the
your
store-
bicycle in here, you
Yep.
piece of shit.
Yep.
You fucking moron.
Dude, that
This is-
lesson really hit home with me. Here's another. I'll throw one at you. This is what I heard from my dad a lot when I was growing up, and that's the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And that's basically saying take fucking initiative unless you're a punk bitch.
Yeah. there
Show
you go.
fucking. I feel like that's really what it boils down to. Just have some fucking spunk and initiative in your life, just a little bit. One push up, one of whatever fucking thing you'd like to improve on, just one. It's not like anybody's asking you to go fucking run a marathon. Nobody's asking you to be David Goggins.
Yeah. That's for real. That's the real shit.
1 XP is better than 0 XP, and you can get 1 XP really easy if you actually try.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. All right, we're going to watch a little bit more of this, and we're going to get into, I think, our last thing for the evening.
Look at that.
Look at it.
Graduation day. Graduation day, which is quite ironic. I used to rap. Well, technically, I still got music out, etc. But when I started my little rap career, I think I was in the 8th grade. First time I recorded a real song in a quote unquote real studio, aka my homeboy's auntie's house. She had the little mic set up, and we recorded a song called Graduation Day, and we performed it, at our graduation rehearsal. It was our first real performance. So this is bringing back memories right here, because what we have is graduation day. Look at that. Look at that. Now this looks like your modern day black church, to be honest, or Southern church, hillbilly church. Look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna make y'all watch it with me. We're watching it through. Cringe all you want to cringe. You've seen it 100 times. You feel some type of way about me even bring it up again. I don't give a damn. We're gonna watch it. Look at that. I would put this on loop for 24 hours if I could. Look. See, look, let me show y'all something. This is mainstream, right? Let me show y'all.
I just want to point something out. This is something that they call the good hair. I had to learn. And the thing is that the same group of individuals that'll talk shit about other black people for quote unquote acting white, right? They've got the good hair. They got fucking basically apparent. You can call me out of fucking touch if you want, but I didn't fucking know this shit. Apparently, the good hair is literally just white people hair, straight hair, with color and all that fucking bullshit. That's the term, the good hair. That's what that means. And so the same people that talk about you're white, you can't have fucking cornrows, got these fucking weaves in with all the fucking liberal colors, the danger frog fucking nonsense. And they're talking about you can't you eat white, you act white, you fucking you work white, whatever the fuck.
Dude, just imagine, right? If you were born and you just look like a clown without doing anything, and then everybody else started putting on the clown makeup to look like you. Like, then you wouldn't be special anymore, you know?
Yeah, so you got to go extra. You got to level up. You got to level down, really.
Yeah, dude, you got to do the nose, the big red nose, and then the shoes, and then you put a whole bunch of them in the car, a tiny little car. Army of clowns, bro. How many do you think you need to have in an army of clowns to really take somebody on? Like, how many clowns do you think you could beat?
I gotta tell you though, when I feel bad for these people because they're stacking debuffs and they don't even know it.
Oh yeah,
they're stacking debuffs thinking that they're getting some kind of fucking achievement for this. Okay, imagine you're a black person in the United States, and whether it's true or not, you've been conditioned to believe that black people are systemically oppressed, and they have been, and they always will be. Right? Imagine that that's been drilled into you since the day you were fucking
conditioned and programmed into you.
So you've already got that going for you, and then you tack on some ratchet ass shit like this, and it's like, and then you just start acting like a complete unhinged fucking lunatic, just stacking debuff after debuff, thinking that like in the Stanley parable, that one closet where you touch the doorknob 100 times to get an achievement.
I think
then the narrator just berates you.
For how they get the debuffs, it's like somebody's pointing their finger at a big poison pool and they're just running into it. And then they get the debuff, and then somebody points their finger at another pool and they get a different debuff, you know? They just run head first into it instead of like pausing for a second and be like, hey, what's this fucking clown pointing at?
It's like the guy who wrote the Boondocks. He was writing the cartoons for, I think, the New York Times or something, or was buying his Boondocks cartoon strip before it was an animated series on Adult Swim. And he did a lecture at his alma mater, and it was an HBCU. I can't remember which one off the top of my head. And he said, "You are already black. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?" And he said that basically, and this video blew up like 3-4 months ago, that white apathy is coming for the black community, and there's gonna be nothing you can do about it if you continue to act like fucking. I think his words were animals. Now,
well, how long are you gonna let me piss on you, bro?
Yeah,
how long are you gonna let me piss on you?
Well. Anyway, we're almost done with this.
Alternative. You see this individual back here. Nobody talked about that individual back there. That one. Let me play this out for you.
Yeah, he just walks away. I saw that.
Are you tracking? Who walked away? That's you. You're the one who's sick and tired. You're the one who's got black fatigue as a quote unquote black person, and you had to walk away from this. This is the mainstream culture. This is them. This is what they do. This is how they act. This, look. And this is them celebrating. Imagine if they were pissed off at each other. Hair is getting yanked out. Okay, so why am I bringing this up? Because there has to be an acceptance at some point to say that this is actually what is being protected as the culture. All this other, back in the 1920s and the 1960s and but black people did this. No, I'm talking about right damn now. You're living in today. If I want to talk about the success of a company, it needs to be in relationship to what you did today. Today, what have you done for me lately, Janet Jackson? What have you done lately? How are you showing up now and at a consistent rate? Unfortunately, it has been for decades at this point. But right now, today, if you walk onto one of these campuses, you may not see this exact image, but you're going to see something like it. You're going to see something like this. You're going to see the acceptance of this. And if you're not a part of this group, you're lame. You're a nerd. You're a square. You're lame. Because you don't want to be a part of this. You don't want to be thugged out. You don't want to be a dope boy. You don't want to be a junkie. You don't want to be a 304. You don't want to be ratchet. You don't want to be turned up. You don't want to be any of those things. As a grown-ass man, people still got a problem with the fact that I don't drink and I don't smoke. Now, that's a decision I made at 19 because I was wilding in my youth, wilding. But I said, nah, these things are destructive. These things are going to take my life. I'm not going to win in life if I continue to perpetuate these behaviors. But yet, this is what our kids, and the reason I brought this one up first is because these are 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old boys mimic.
So that's all we're going to cover for this one. We are going to lead into it in another episode. So if you want to see more stuff like this, we're going to get into that on a later date. But I have one more for us. I just have to find it. I have to remember to label shit a little bit better. Nope, not going to cover that. We're going to skip that. No, that's turning the frogs gay.
Oh, they're turning the frogs gay?
Yeah, there's another video in here. It's not something that we could probably cover tonight. It would probably have to be an episode of its own, to be completely honest, because there's no way to touch on it. But basically, there was a study done that showed that if you have you ever had an IPA before in your life?
Probably, but I think so. Yeah.
Well, they taste like shit.
Yeah.
They taste like a fucking pine cone. They taste like somebody fucking took
it's like an ashtray and an asshole put together.
Well, no, it's like, yeah, sort of, I guess. It's like somebody dumped fucking pine sol in a mint julep. Like, I don't know why the fuck anybody drinks this shit. And it's like, oh, I drink fish head pale ale IPA. Fuck you. Take your fucking pale ale and shove it up your ass sideways. I'm not drinking that shit. I drink sludge. I drink Guinness like an adult. I do. I drink fucking, whiskey neat or Guinness. And
I
if
don't
I'm
drink it all, bro. Fuck that.
The fruitiest I get is
Down
like
with
a nice spiced wine, like a mead or something.
Down with the poison. No.
Hell yeah.
Down with the poison. No poison.
So anyway, that story was going to be covering why there's a sudden prevalence for bitter alcoholic beverages.
Dude, did you know that I was a huge alcoholic when I was homeless, right? And I haven't had a drink in like 4 years. So I just stopped cold turkey.
Yeah.
Like I was drinking and driving every day and everything. Like it was bad, drinking the whole day. It's poison, dude. It's not good for you.
My whole thing is I have too many responsibilities.
Well, think about this, bro. You could really go to the back of your car while it's on and really breathe in the muffler a couple of times, and you're probably not going to die. So you can do that all you want, just like you can do that with alcohol. You can poison yourself with alcohol all you want, but it's still poison at the end of the day. No matter how much profit a company makes, it's still poison.
Yeah. I just oh right. So what was I trying to say? Yeah. So apparently there's a connection between a preference for bitter alcoholic beverages and SSRIs because of the uptake inhibitors.
Bro, they don't know how the brain works at all. So all this, you're doing a lot of chemistry with the fucking brain, with all the different things that you're giving people, ingesting them, the chemicals, the hormones, the fucking boosters, the vaccines, all the different things that's in the water and the fucking, even in the nutrients in the soil before the food's even grown. They don't know. Nobody has a fucking clue how the brain works. And if you do, go ahead and make one. Make a perfect replica of the brain if you're so goddamn smart. And until then, we can all agree that we don't know everything about how the human being is, because we can't make a single thing without a creation that God already made. We can't make anything without God. So we don't really know that much. So like we're doing all this, like imagine the difference in what a human being is taking in and observing and in their environment now compared to the hunter-gatherers. And if you just go on physical ability alone, which one is better physically on average?
Right.
Is it the average American?
I think so.
Really? You think? Okay. I hope so, because it's been hundreds of years, right? Thousands even. I don't even know how long it's been. And if we've gone downhill since then, that's really fucking concerning. That's pretty sad. I mean, look how much progress you made just doing one push-up a day in a couple of months. and we've gone down. Yikes. I wonder what that's going to be like 10 years from now if we keep going downhill. It's almost like we're setting ourselves up to be fucking slaves because we're all going to be weak. Well, I mean, not me. You guys can all speak for yourselves, but I'm sure it's not fucking going to be weak. I'm doing stuff every day to ensure that's not going to happen. But you guys should all just, you guys should just watch all the ads and focus on useless shit and find things to argue about and waste as much time as possible. Because I kind of like just watching myself level up while everybody else does nothing. It's really amusing to me, to be honest with you. So you guys should continue, the people who aren't leveling up, you should continue to not level up. And if anybody wants to level up, I'm more than happy to help you in any way I can. That would be my recommendation for everybody.
So this is our last video of the night before I open it up to the peanut gallery.
I hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of To Catch a Predator. I'm your host, Chris Hen. That was last week. Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Effed. I'm your host, Louis Rossman. If you're a new subscriber from the BWE video, hi, pleasure to meet you. I'm Louis Rossman, and we discuss right to repair and right to own on this channel. Right to repair, the fact that many companies place artificial barriers in place of you being able to fix what you bought and paid for. Right to own, manufacturers having cloud-connected devices that allow them to disable them remotely, even though you bought and paid for it, making it very unclear whether or not you actually own it. Today, we're going to be focusing on Nintendo's change to their end-user license agreement in terms of service. Honestly, the change in their terms of service and their end-user license agreement is not something that I consider to be bad or newsworthy. What I consider to be newsworthy is the response to it. And that's what we're going to focus on in this video, because it's the cultural change that needs to happen in order for this stuff to stop occurring that I want this channel to inspire. There's one portion that everybody is up in arms about. It's you acknowledge that if you fail to comply with the foregoing restrictions, Nintendo may render the Nintendo account services and/or the applicable Nintendo device permanently unusable in whole or in part. If I log on to their services and I start screwing around with other players and cheating in video games, them banning me from their services is completely understandable. I would even understand them banning me by hardware ID. The problem is when they say that they were going to brick my device in a manner where it will be permanently unusable, even if I would like to use it in single player mode with any of my games. Simply because you do not like what I have done with my device does not mean that you have the right to disable my device. I think that that's wrong. There are people that are going to say that this is rage bait. Why is anybody bothered by this? And in my opinion, that's the real news. Nintendo doing something that everybody else is doing at this point that is anti-consumer as a large company, I expect it at this point. But what I don't expect are users to be okay with it. And this is the part we're really going to argue in this video. This is the top voted comment. It is also almost twice as upvoted as the original post. This is nothing new. The 3DS said the same thing. Number of 3DSs bricked by Nintendo? Exactly 0. This new user agreement is effed up. This was removed. And the top comment, which has 87 upvotes. Are you listening to rage bait YouTubers again? You know that's not healthy for you. The only manufacturer that I've ever known to act on this clause in their EULA is phone companies that the phone is reported stolen. Nintendo has had it since the Wii U and the 3DS and never used it. Even with caught pirates, they do ban the in-console from online use, though. Your life will continue the exact...
So basically, it's going to be forced arbitration and you won't own your fucking console. It's going to be extended to just about everything, too. The prices for the fucking video games are going to be at like $90 fucking. It's going to be $80 for the base version. If it's an older game with a graphical upgrade, like how Scarlet and Violet have dropped frame rates and can only run the game at about 30 FPS, the upgrade for the 60 FPS at 1080 is, yeah, just don't buy it. No, I'm tired of this fucking argument. I'm not having this one. This is bullshit because there's going to be a point. See, here's the thing. People will buy it. People will buy it. They buy BMWs with a heated seat subscription right now. They will buy it, and then it'll become the standard. Because guess what? Nintendo let the cat out of the bag, and now fucking video games are $80 as opposed to $60, right? So what do? Fucking Xbox announces that they're going to start doing $80 games, and PlayStation is
boiling the frog, bro. It's boiling the frog.
Yeah, just don't buy it. Okay, I won't buy it, but somebody else will say, oh, okay, well, I don't give a shit. I'll pay $100 for a fucking video game that came out 20 years ago as a third, fourth, fifth, or sixth fucking release like Skyrim. Not that I like I said, love Skyrim, love the Elder Scrolls series. Don't need it for my fucking smart fridge, right? But what I'm saying is that this just continues to go on and on and on and on and on. And that there are enough idiots that will pay for it and buy it that it won't matter. Everything you do every minute of every day will be like this because enough idiots will pay for it. And if you're not willing to pay for it, then you just won't get the content. and the DRM is getting more aggressive. That's why you're fucking when you go to download Call of Duty, whatever their most recent release is, it's like 300 fucking gigs or something. You know why it's 300 gigs? Because most of that is fucking DRM. Did you know that? Did anybody fucking know that? That's copyright protection. It's anti fucking crack and keygen software, essentially.
It makes sense. It's par for the course of Activision.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, you know Black Ops 3, their servers are still up online on Steam, but you literally cannot log in because hackers completely control it. And if you use it, they completely have all of your information. Nobody can play that game online. Yeah, you literally cannot play that game online on PC without risk of getting all your information stolen.
Right.
And they have this Plutonium website, Call of Duty Plutonium, which people had like their own fan-made servers so that they could play old games like, you know, original Black Ops or whatever. But I
remember the just don't buy it argument though. Remember when everything was controlled by the liberal media and there was no alternative and they said just go make your own? What would you do if Donnie didn't make Truth Social? What would you do if Elon Musk didn't buy Twitter? You wouldn't have a right-wing alternative. Rumble would have been buried without people that actually put content on the fucking platform and people that actually sponsor that fucking website, or kick.com, or what if anything? Just don't buy it. Yeah,
just
go make your own.
Will,
just make your own internet.
Just don't look at Jesus on the cross as he's dying, bro. Just ignore it, and then it won't feel so bad. You know, if you watch him die, watch the pain and the suffering he has to go through as he bleeds the fuck to death. That's way worse than if you just turn away and ignore it. I think the best solution is to always turn away and ignore the pain and the suffering in life, and you know, always seek pain or pleasure. Avoid pain and seek pleasure. That's always the answer. Yep.
It's gotta be. It's the only logical solution to the problem.
Yep.
But we're slowly losing consumer rights in general. Like, you don't own it. It's I've heard it said, and I believe this. If what you buy you don't own, then piracy isn't theft. So if I get a copy of a game and I pay money for it and I can't access it at some point because service has been terminated because it's an online only game for a fucking single player game, by the way, if I don't own it, then if I steal it, if I pirate it, it's not stealing. I mean, does anybody fucking disagree with that? Because I don't. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I feel like there's going to be a huge resurgence in the piracy community.
Yeah, I heard about fucking the Houthis, bro. They should get the Nobel Peace Prize, according to Hassan Piker.
I don't know where that's coming from, but yeah, I did hear that. Yeah.
I just think he's a clown, so I like shitting on him.
I fucking hate Hassan. I think he's absolutely responsible for that shooting in part. I have a gut feeling that dude was at least in part radicalized by the things that Hassan Piker said. And I understand that you can't be held responsible for something somebody in your fucking community does eventually, because if you have a large enough community, eventually one of those fucking clowns is going to go out and do something heinous, right?
Hey, how many followers of Martha Stewart went out and shot somebody? How many Martha Stewart followers? It's what you talk about. Fucking what a clown Hassan is. Retard.
He talks about every day how fucking terrorists are fucking, you know, God's gift to humanity or whatever.
If I give you excitable energy the whole fucking time, and I very purposefully, with intent, choose the information that you see to get you really fired up, and then I give you a target, like I say that Donald Trump is Hitler. Well, Hitler should just die, right? If you had the chance to kill Hitler before he killed the Jews, you'd do it, right? That's what you're supposed to do. This guy's Hitler, and you're all excited, and now he's giving you a gun. He's telling you about, like, well, showing you this music video with the Houthis, and they're shooting everything up, and that's cool. That's a music video. This guy's a #1 streamer on Twitch, bro.
Yeah, obviously, he's basically Monkey D. Luffy.
Yeah. Took a bite of gum, right?
I have a feeling that Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, went to that fucking brothel in Thailand or whatever the fuck it was with Hassan Piker. Or like Hassan got into the Diddy party.
I think Hassan was actually Dan Clancy. Actually, this is almost confirmed, is that he actually was getting his dick sucked by Hassan, and that they took turns taking it in the ass. Yeah, I heard that they were. I heard it was not a good thing. I heard there was some weird shit going on with them. Very strange.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it has to be that, Because there's no way that the CEO of fucking Twitch...
It's all what it is with
would
everything, bro. With like Weinstein and Epstein and all the fucking Steens. Like, it's all about some weird sex shit, bro. It's this power thing. People get this power trip. Like, you might not even be gay, for example, but the idea of bending another man over to exert power might really get you
I
off.
think this is so fucking true. True and real. If Hassan was ugly, no one would listen to him for more than 5 seconds.
I mean, people listen to fucking Asmongold, though.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, it's the Luigi Mangione effect, right? If Luigi Mangione was a fat, ugly fucking neckbeard dude, nobody would give a shit. That's why, like, the guy who tried to kill fucking Donald Trump in Butler County, Pennsylvania, Lee Tardy Oswald, nobody gives a fuck about him anymore. He's not a fucking martyr. You know why? Because he wasn't hot. And yeah, Asmongold, I don't think, here's the thing. I'm going to say something real fucking gay. All right? So everybody get ready. I don't think that Asmongold is conventionally attractive. I think that he's attractive for a variety of other reasons. I think it's because he has a personality. He says what he means. He's a genuine human being, and I think people find value in that. And there's a certain subsect of the online community that looks at Asmongold also as a reflection of themselves. Because
appearances
Asmongold
don't matter for his community. Birds of a feather flock together. The people that are following Hassan are all the same kind of fucking devil worshippers, basically, bro.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the echo chambers thing.
Well, that's what I was saying, is that I think that Asmongold is a reflection of his audience, basically.
Yeah.
Because, and mostly in superficial ways, probably. Like, because he lives like an absolute fucking roach. Like, he cleaned up his house, but it ain't that fucking clean. He fell through the goddamn ceiling. Did you see that?
They probably didn't stay that way either, I'd imagine.
I don't know. He doesn't really leave his bedroom for the most part. But, yeah, he just goes.
Do you think he's in really good shape? You know, I'd imagine that he's been in his room for the most part of like the past 3 years, right? Just being in his room, being on the computer. Do you think he's in good shape?
I don't know. I don't know what he says. He works out.
So,
I don't know.
But like, imagine like if he didn't work out at all and you were in your room like Asmongold for like a couple of years, 3 or 4 years straight. Do you think you'd be in good shape? Do you think you'd look good?
I don't know. Probably not. Right.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I don't know. It might have some. I don't know what it is. He's got a really fucked metabolism. Do you see that? What this guy eats? He eats fucking Chipotle and fucking Wendy's goddamn fucking baked beans or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's got to have some. I mean,
I'll have to reveal some information for everyone at a later date, but it's definitely not that we don't have the time for it right now. But if you want to ponder on that, you could learn quite a bit, to be honest with you, Will. But we can discuss that at a later date when I can actually give you the full context of everything. I don't like to cast pearls unless I know I can explain them. And also, I never know who's actually going to even take advantage and who's just going to be a swine that rolls into shit.
Well, we were going to talk about what you were telling me. I was, like I said, when I called you today,
yeah,
I planned on talking about that with the fucking leveling up and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I assume that's what you're talking about, right? Like techniques.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. Yeah, but I mean, I kind of touched on a lot of the important ones in our conversation. There's kind of a reason why I started speaking adamantly about certain specific things because of how important and relevant they are. You should also pick up on the fact that I repeatedly use specific words to teach and to expose and to draw the point to them because they are that important and powerful. And I can also reference a lot of scientific and professionally accepted things as well. I just don't have it prepared at this point.
Oh, okay.
And you can also, with a
it's
quick
not
Google
in
search,
it's not like in your text messages or anything, is it?
Not like scientific research. It's just my little offhand comment right there, which I mean is very powerful, but I'm not gonna debate somebody on whatever I'm going to say unless I have a bunch of information, because that's kind of what I notice is when you talk about like something that's not like 2 + 2 = 4. And there's a lot of people they're gonna like cast their aspersions, whatever, from their viewpoint. They're gonna say things, and I'm just not prepared to combat with hardcore evidence, which I can provide. I don't have the hardcore evidence ready at this point.
Sitting in front of you, right? I got you. That's like that's almost like debate format.
Well, that's what I mean. This whole world is this whole sphere is like a bunch of people are in the debate thing. So I'm basically expecting that everyone's trying to debate me with everything I say. I have no interest in debating, but if there's a question about something, I would like to provide the information I have and have a discussion about it.
Okay, I got you. Well, that was the last video. I just wanted to use Louis Rossman's thing as a jumping off point. I actually had a conversation with him briefly once. He used to live in New York. He was a downstater though, so yeah, it was a long time ago. I'm gonna open it up to the peanut gallery. You said you were gonna take off, or
yeah, for right now, I kind of want to go make some fresh coffee. There's a couple other things I want to do. I might pop back in if that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope everyone has a great night. God loves you all. Jesus Christ is King. He's the best. I love you. And, stay frosty.
Hell yeah. All right. I'll see you later. There we go. I turned my camera back on. My fucking hair is a mess. That's why it's been off. The link's in the description, but I put it out there in the comments too now, so everybody can get in. But yeah, so that was basically the show for the evening. I like to open it up at the end. I don't like to get super distracted. I like to just do like one thing after the other. I'm kind of enjoying this format, and I'm looking forward to interviewing people. Hopefully next week. I'm trying to line one of these guys up. He's a technician. He works on cars, specifically the electronics, like higher end fully automated vehicles and stuff. I think he works at a Tesla dealership. I think that's what we were talking about. I've got a couple irons in the fire though, so I've got a lot of people that I'm talking to at the moment. But anyway, yeah, we have the exact same shirt that's based. I can't remember because I didn't actually look at it. Is this? No, I thought it was like Empire or something. It's just a generic. I am working on making. Oh shit! Before I forget, hold on. I actually gotta do something here. I am working on a T-shirt that I had an idea for, and I just need to get it out of my head. So I'm gonna probably do that tomorrow. I think me and my son will make it together. I like doing shit with him like that. He's getting to be that age. It's interesting watching him grow up the way he is. I didn't, I would have liked to have had memories of spending more time with my father. It is what it is. I'm not fucking throwing him under the bus or anything. It just like, sometimes life gets in the way of things. Life gets in the way of like the most important shit, I think, where it's just the general locomotion of the forward movement of the river of life. You just, wiping your ass isn't really, it's all just maintenance. You know what I mean? It's all just upkeep. So, let me just get this out really quick. And, yes. Yes. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that was done, because I almost totally forgotten that I had to do that. That's something on my phone. I was going to sit here and work on the t-shirt design, but on my phone, but I ended up having to use more of my brain than I thought. My attention was severely divided between a number of things. Sorry, just sending a text message. Anyway, did everybody like the show tonight? Was it good? Did you like the format? Do you want me to change it up? we're going to be doing a Kincaid at some point. The Star Wars episode. We're going to be doing episode 4. We finally sorted that out last week. I love the Star Wars episodes that we do. They're usually over the top. Some of them have been higher budget too, like when we got the BJ Wimpy to do Emperor Palpatine. I probably could have shot that a lot better. And I probably have to go, I don't know what email he sent that to, but I'm sure that the original cut of that is on my desktop. With AI, I could definitely fix the problems with how we shot that, because I think he just didn't understand what we were saying. We wanted him to blue screen, and he just did a solid color, and it was white, and the contrast was contrasting the white makeup on his skin. So when I went to chroma, it wasn't really working. And then I tried to do it by hand, and it became a frame by frame incident, and that was taking way too long, and we had deadlines. So, but it'll probably be a whole thing. We got fucking all kinds of new characters now that have entered the fray, so it'll be easy to parody. I already had a lot of ideas. I'm getting ready for other things happening in my life too. I have to go get an annual recert, and it's going to be, because it's been 5 years since my last official cert, I'm going to be, basically my schedule is going to be fucked, and I won't know how fucked it is until Saturday. So hopefully there will be a Wednesday stream next week. I'm going to try to make it work either way. I have time off in June coming up. I'm not going to be able to use it for what I thought I was going to use it for, but I am going to do something with it. And we have family coming out in July. My kid's going to do like a little, it is private school. They do like almost a little like summer camp sort of thing. It's not actually camp, but it's kind of like that, where it's a sort of go away situation for 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. And they do like theme days. They dress up, they do games and activities and stuff. And a lot of the kids from his that he'll be in class with are going to be attending. So we're getting him involved with that, so that he can kind of meet his teachers and meet the kids that he's going to be going to school with next year, because it's going to be a completely different group of kids. So my schedule is just fucking cram a jam, packed with shit going on, just dad shit, just nonstop. And I'll have the 4th of July off this year, because it'll be on Friday, I think. It's on a Friday. Yes. So I'm going to actually be able to spend the 4th of July with my kid, which is fucking tits. Then his birthday is going on in August. I'm like, my schedule is like totally fucking crammed for the entire summer. And then at the end of summer, I'm like going away for an entire week. So I don't know if I was thinking about it, and I want to know what you guys think about this at some point. I know a few of you have probably fallen asleep or you're listening at work. I know Guru Lady works really late, although I think she might have tonight off. I don't know. But when you get to it, let me know. We could do, I was thinking about doing a pre-recorded episode of the podcast for the week that I'm out. But yeah. Yeah, I've seen that movie. Yeah. My schedule is balls. Yeah, balls to the fucking wall. It's going to be nonstop shit happening. Basically, like, I'm even packed past Labor Day, because then he starts school, and he'll be on a regular schedule. And then we have that thing in October. And then Halloween and all that. It's basically like I have essentially the entire year planned out, and I don't like have a shitload of free days. I want to try to make myself available on Friday to hang out. Probably with Ray, to be honest. Quentin is gonna need my help tomorrow. I have to talk to him. Yeah, so anyway, just planning episodes and shows and shit like that is going to be a fucking challenge, but I'm trying to get it done. Work has been a nightmare. It continues to escalate into newer, more fresh hells every fucking day. We've been trying to get this Minecraft thing going, and I want to. I upgraded the Wi-Fi significantly. I hope that you guys got full 1080p tonight. It should have. This should have been one of the highest quality fucking visually anyway, highest quality streams that we've done. And in addition to that, we should be able to handle everybody. I'm fucking around with a fidget spinner because it's on my desk. My kid had it. Yeah, I know where you work. Yeah, I know. It's like for some reason they get even more fucking psychotic as the temperature gets hotter. Anyway, trying to get this Minecraft thing going. Shit, if I have some time, I could test it tomorrow with Guru Lady. I see she's in chat now. Her little corgi ears popped up when I said that. All right. I'm probably gonna shut the shit down here in a minute, unless somebody wants to come in. I'll post the link one more time. If not, I will probably take off. I've been trying to. Yeah, that happens to me on a regular basis, but my individuals can't fucking get arrested, apparently. But you know all about that now. I have not finished Scarlet yet. I have not even finished the main. I'm at the end of the main story. There's the Team Star arc I'm about to finish, the fucking Titan arc that I'm about to finish, the Pokemon League arc that I'm about to finish. I'm at the very end. And then I wanted to get all the tests done and stuff because the next thing is going to require me to be highly leveled, do the fucking Kitakami thing. And then the last thing that I haven't done any of before my fucking Switch got fried, my original Switch, is the Blueberry Academy stuff with so Teal Mask is coming up and then Indigo Disc. So I'm probably going to try to go beat some of that. I went to go try and play it and I forgot to charge the fucking thing. Yeah, the depression is indeed whack. It's not bootleg KFC, all right? It's not bootleg. It's better than KFC. And yes, I did. As a matter of fact, my tummy is making the fucking grumblies. I didn't get to eat a whole lot because I took like an hour nap. I popped into Smokey's thing hoping to make some fucking money, but Andy doesn't want to fucking take me up on my offer. I wonder if Bill would take me up on my offer. I don't know. Get my ass kicked for some quick cash? Hell yeah, brother. You ain't gonna kill me anyway. I bigger, stronger people have tried to kill me, so I'm still alive. I can take hits pretty well. That's the one thing I know that I can do is take hits. Like a motherfucker, apparently. I was shocked. And I've been in a few physical altercations since that one in September. So I know I'm up to speed. I can take it. I got fucking it probably doesn't come through on the camera, but I've got where the fuck are they? I didn't even know I had them. They might be gone now. That was almost a week ago. I had some big ass fucking bruises and my foot was all fucked up. Is that still purple? No. I appear to have healed. Oh, it's wax dripping. Like, what is that metal pinging sound? Anyway. I'm gonna shut this show up in 2 minutes and I'm gonna shut the shit the fuck down. Oh yeah, speaking of which, in drama related news while I'm thinking about it, Brett Keane all of a sudden has like 120 fucking live viewers all of a sudden now that he's been over at Praises. That's weird how that happened. Having a harder head than your opponent's hand is a strategy. Amen. And it appears to be my strategy. I've got this thick 5 head. It's more like a 13 and a half men's, really. Never mind 5. What day is it about to be? The 29th? Why can't I find emoji when I'm looking for them? Let's see. There. Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, I might vacate the Discord. I'm going to have a piss probably and then vacate the Discord. I'll be in the community Discord hanging out if somebody wants to fucking drop by there. But anyway, that's it for me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. I try to make it as entertaining as I possibly can with the limited amount of time that I have. But yeah, I'm gonna work on merch. That's my next fucking thing. And I think I'm gonna try to expand some. I don't know. I'm trying. I have I think that my biggest woe at the moment is not being able to expand just because my time is so limited. And the things that matter the most to me are going to take precedence. Like my first my son, then my wife, then the rest of my extended family and friends, which are pretty much on the same level. Some of you are higher than others. No offense. And then you know, and then there's stuff like this. I have to go to work and stuff. You know, maintenance shit. But yeah, so that's the problem is I'd really like to expand and grow and stuff like that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I've got AI channels that I'm trying to get off the ground that I haven't announced. I'll probably, if they actually get like significant traction, I'll probably tell people in the cult or maybe even in the community Discord, like, yeah, that was me. But yeah, I'll like upload something with a subtle nod so that you guys know that I'm not just bullshitting. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do. But yeah, everything's good. So I'm gonna fuck off to the Discord for a little while, and if nobody shows up, I'm going to dick around on my Switch and then go to bed. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for being here. I want to try to stream next week. My schedule is gonna be crazy. Check KoneKlubKult posts and the community Discord for updates on how that's going because mandatory training, yay! So anyway, have a good week. I'll see you next week. Take care, guys.